this argument, the defense attorneys revealed that Williams had been involved in another sexual assault just weeks earlier. Williams' appeal made it all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, which then sent it back to the 11th Circuit Court for further review. That decision from the 11th Circuit Court was released on April 3rd of this year. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A single vehicle crash on the campus of the University of Alabama has resulted in a fatality. The vehicle struck a tree near Marsh Spring on Monday. The identity of the person behind the wheel has not yet been released. A former sports anchor has been arrested and charged for using his position on a board for personal gain. Rada was serving on a local board for the Motorsports Hall of Fame in Talladega. Rada was a sports anchor for ABC 3340 News from 1996 to 2017. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
We know the businesses that keep our communities moving. We walk the same streets, shop the same stores, and support the same local families. Janney King franchise owners take pride in caring for the places they keep our hometown strong. With dependable service, attention to detail, and commitment to doing the things the right way, more businesses are choosing Janney King as their trusted local cleaning partner. Visit JanneyKingCleans.com today.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and, well, let's just begin with a quote from the President of the United States. Because this is a doozy of a Truth Social post. Donald John Trump released this morning. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran, says Trump. And of course, this is, again, the beginning of that line. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. You had Trump talking to Bret Baier of Fox News. Bret Baier asking Trump to put odds on whether or not a full-on strike, my understanding would be of civilian infrastructure, power plants, perhaps even oil infrastructure, other energy infrastructure, bridges, major roads. You would hear many tales, and they'd probably be true. Many civilians, not by the thousands, end up dead there in Iran. So we wait and we wonder. Now, the lead spokesman against a lot of this, and has been for some time, is Tucker Carlson. So I want to present his side of the argument on this. Now, Tucker continues to worry that they're going to nuke Iran, and his citation for that is Mark Levin, and we'll get to Tucker citing Mark Levin. But what he played of Mark Levin and then read of Mark Levin on Levin's show over the weekend, and the usual Constitution of the United States of America. Yeah, we get it, Mark. Ugh, not a big fan of Mark Levin. But all I heard Mark Levin say was the usual, excuse me, pardon me, boomer stuff, BoomerCon line. And in fact, you can actually have it put in a more academic, respectable way by somebody like a Victor Davis Hanson. That if we didn't drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, two of the most Christian cities, by the way, in Japan, but if we hadn't have dropped and used the bombs, you would have had 1 million men more dead. American men. And after years and years of fighting in the West and in the East, 90,000 dead in the Battle of the Bulge. How many dead in the hedgerows? 70-something thousand. Not to mention the island hopping campaign. Brutal fighting. People were looking for a swift finish to that war. But that has long been the justification, like the common conventional justification of dropping the A-bombs, is that it saved lives. It was a utilitarian sort of necessity, a horrid, necessary evil of ending that massive war that still haunts us to this day. And thank God we were the victors. And in fact, you have men there. I think Curtis LeMay himself said we probably would have been hung as war criminals. Like, these men who prosecuted World War II knew what they were doing. But again, I've heard this as long as I've been alive, paying attention to conservatives around me. Especially conservative men, including some in my family who get, really deep into the history of World War II. So Levin lays that out, and from that, Tucker Carlson says Levin is advising Trump to nuke, to drop a nuclear weapon, which, by the way, the latest nuclear weapons are nothing like the weapons dropped on Japan all those decades ago. The capabilities now of not just the United States arsenal, but Russia as well as the Chinese and several others, probably the Israelis as well, you're talking about immense destruction. And it's one thing to think about it in theory, to see even a graphic display of what's going on with it. But I think that's a thin justification for saying Trump is going to nuke things. But let's hear Tucker out. Let's hear out the man. First, he's laying down a certain moral principle here. And, here he is.
We have intentionally bombed civilian infrastructure in Iran. It's totally unacceptable. Not under the phony laws of some international body, but under moral law, God's law, killing non-combatants, people who did nothing wrong, who didn't choose this war, who were just people created by God. That is immoral. That will never be moral. That can never be justified. That is always wrong.
That's just a little taste of the entire monologue. Well, let's get to the part of the nukes being used. And to me, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Like, to be perfectly blunt about it. And I know this has been a thing for moralists, for religionists, for pastors and bishops and reverends and theologians, political philosophers since the end of World War II, that there's this particular space in the human imagination, in particular the moral imagination, about dropping those bombs in Japan. But in my mind, why is one atomic flash different than the utter firebombing of Tokyo? More died. Is it better to die by radiation poisoning? Or the immediate blast? or to be burned alive. Sorry on such a lovely afternoon here. Truly, it is lovely. God, thank you for another beautiful day. Hope this is going to be a good show. And just as a quick aside, Montgomery needs a new mayor. But what's the difference? I don't think it's the means of destructive war-making power that's the problem. Well, it's the old A-bombs or the advanced multi-warhead nukes that advanced countries possess. You can kill a lot of people without dropping a nuke. You can kill a lot of people in horrific ways without dropping a nuke. It's not the means of that destructive power, it is the mentality. And perhaps a moral mentality, or say a lack of one, was opened up in the midst of that, well, hell on earth, World War II. That whatever is necessary needs to be done. And then keep in mind, it is very easy to moralize against the bomb. It's much more difficult to reckon with its existence. It is easy to moralize from the critic's seat against the mayhem and destruction of war. You really want to be an advocate for peace? Go put yourself in the way of those bombs and those bullets and die for peace. I'm not saying those calling for peace and calling for it to end are wrong. I pray for peace every morning. I'll do it privately and publicly. This is mayhem. But it's, be careful, like on many fronts, to judge the people that had to make those decisions in the midst of World War II. Be very careful indeed how you judge. Because God will judge us all, especially the men who have to make these decisions in positions of authority. And it's not just in the past. It's very easy to sit in the peanut gallery and say, I would be a very moral person. Unless you're in that chair, you rarely find that the button you get to push, the button that is on offer, is a perfectly just one. And maybe that's just the wickedness of this fallen world. But here is Tucker laying out why he thinks Trump is being told to nuke Iran. And again, Trump came out this morning, 7:17 a.m., or at least our time. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Now, Trump later on saying, who knows? It's almost like folks haven't watched this guy, the president, and how he presents things. But we'll see. Here's Tucker, though, saying, well, he's going to nuke them.
Here's what he said. Nearly 10% of all casualties in the Second World War happened at the Battle of the Bulge, which, of course, at the end of the war.
He's commenting on, this is quoting Mark Levin.
The Battle of Okinawa, 50,000 casualties, nearly 13,000 killed on that island, which is what convinced Truman, Harry Truman, the then president in 1945, we'd lose 1 million men if we didn't drop the atomic bombs that we did. Did you hear that? That's Mark Levin's counsel to our sitting president, Donald Trump, right now. You are looking at a choice between the catastrophic loss of your troops in a ground war or the use of nuclear weapons, which, in a sense, if you think about it, just think about it for a second, is actually an act of peace. It's an act of peace. The most humane thing you could do is to end this now with nuclear weapons. That's the case Mark Levin is making to the president, who just last week recommended that all Americans watch Mark Levin's show. Here's what he said. Nearly 10% of all
let's hear it again.
Casualties in the Second World War happened at the Battle of the Bulge, which, of course, at the end of the war. The Battle of Okinawa, 50,000 casualties, nearly 13,000 killed on that island, which is what convinced Truman, Harry Truman, the then president in 1945, we'd lose 1 million men if we didn't drop the atomic bombs that we did.
Right.
Did you hear that? That's Mark Levin's counsel to our sitting president, Donald Trump, right now. You are looking at a choice between...
No, I don't believe what Levin was laying out. In fact, when Tucker played the whole clip of Levin, he was laying out the case essentially for destroying civilians. Again, it's not the means, it's the mentality of destructive power. I'm seeing a lot of stuff online that Well, if they go through with this, they deserve the firing squad. There should be firing squads. For who? The leaders of this country who, if they carry out, say, not even nuking, destroying civilian infrastructure, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Perhaps. If your decisions have the consequence of thousands of people dying, thousands of people who are not combatants, perhaps. But I would say to those folks who want to use language like that, would you pull the trigger? In the firing squad? Would you stand there and do it yourself? Would you swing the sword? Would you at least give the order? I hope this doesn't happen tonight. I pray this doesn't happen tonight. I do not wish to see thousands of people needlessly lose their lives. Never mind the practical problems it's causing us Americans when you look at gas prices and so many other things, and how off the ball the political messaging, all this other stuff. But I am also, as I pray for peace, not going to sit here from this little seat and immediately condemn the people that have to make these decisions. It's foolish. I think people underestimate what happens when power gets a hold of you, not when you get a hold of it. And if we really want peace to break out in this world, it needs to be in all our hearts. Because there are sometimes those that make very loud noises for war, and they bring about peace, and those that scream peace, 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 but in the way they scream it, they would bring about slaughter. But again, the president this morning, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have a complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? In all caps, by the way. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in a long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. By the way, in response to Tucker Carlson, because he goes on to say the White House staffers should not listen to these orders. And that at one point they said, well, why do it if it's actually not going to open up the Strait of Hormuz? Oh, it's probably the thrill of killing is why you go ahead and bomb anyway. The thrill of killing. The power is in the killing, the exertion of force. It's the point. You don't want to think that, but after a message like this, what could it possibly be the reason? Quoting Tucker there. Tucker also saying we should always remember what we do will be done to us. I guess those who live by the sword die by the sword. That if we bomb and destroy civilian infrastructure in other countries, who's to say that won't happen to us? You know, the whole golden rule thing applied to geopolitics is the idea, I suppose. And yes, Tucker literally calls on White House staffers and military staffers to not listen to the president's orders, to hide the nuclear codes. Here's Tucker.
If you work in the White House or in the U.S. military, now it's time to say no, absolutely not, and say it directly to the president, no. In case you're thinking about using some weapon of mass destruction against the population of Iran in whose name we liberated Iran. We killed their religious leader for their benefit. Do you remember that? This was last month. Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this because this is insane. And if given the order, I'm not carrying it out. Figure out the codes on the football yourself.
Figure out the codes in the football yourself. So we'll see what transpires. Trump, in response to this, Tucker put that out last night, said, quote, to the New York Post, Tucker's a low IQ person that has absolutely no idea what's going on. The president said, he calls me all the time. I don't respond to his calls. I don't deal with him. I like dealing with smart people, not fools. Carlson went on to say Christians need to understand where Trump is taking us. Anyway, good afternoon. Lovely day, folks. Lovely day. Eddie Baier here in the studio. Just got by.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Had a busy morning, so far so good.
Yeah, sorry to get all into it, but these are the times.
That's why I kind of pretty much ignored the news since this morning. I got up, read a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I got stuff to do.
Made a good choice.
Yeah. It just rubbed me the wrong way right from the get-go. So,
well, it's pretty awful.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think most folks, for better or for worse, we're spectators.
Yeah.
We're either Pontius Pilate, though we don't have the authority, or we're the crowd, since we just went through Holy Week and the Passion of the Christ. That's most of us.
Mm-hmm.
Some people take up the reins of authority and they make awful decisions. They make tough decisions. And perhaps they make better ones than other monsters might.
Right.
Because you could think of a world where the United States didn't stop. We kept producing, we kept using the bomb. And we conquered the whole world with it, or at least tried.
Right.
Think that's that crazy of an idea? Especially when you look at the swath of human history?
Yeah. No.
As soon as you have a weapon of that power, let's get to marching.
It's the whole reason you built it.
Right. And we'll stop all war after we just destroy the entire planet. It's not that crazy of an idea, actually.
Not.
It is, but it
it's
isn't.
not.
The reason it's crazy is because J.D. Vance said it in a recent speech there in Hungary, and we'll play some of J.D., the vice president's speech, is that we are, for better or for worse, though we often get it wrong, and you got sinners and monsters and devils and halls of power, whether in politics or the ecclesiastical structures in our churches, where the devil likes to hide the most in those halls of authority. But despite all that sin and corruption, the reason we think something like that is just immediately wrong, why wouldn't we just keep using the bomb? Is because we're a civilization based on the sacrifice of Christ.
Right.
And I'm quoting the vice president there. Most of us are in the crowd. Some might even say, don't go there. Don't do it. Especially in this day and age, because of that sacrifice 2,000 years ago. We don't want to see the slaughter of innocents. We don't want to see brutality and the use of power for power's sake. We don't. But we're still in the crowd. While a lot of people next to us are yelling, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. There are some who do sit like Pontius Pilate on a seat of power, and maybe they try to wash their hands of it, or they go through with it, even as they try to wash their hands. But then it's very rare the people who speak out for peace, and they're willing to die for it.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm that brave. I'm not. Most aren't. If you really want peace, put your body in the way of what you think is so wrong. Put your life on the line. Anyway, I'll continue to pray for peace. At least do that.
There you go.
And not just in this war, but in so many hearts, because that's the other element to this. Whatever side of this you're on is, can you feel like the accusation and the discord and like how it's already bringing down your mood? I'm sure you woke up in a better mood than this.
Yeah.
How it gets at you.
Well, and it's the looming deadline. That's
Yep.
I don't know. I think most people that pay attention to the news know there's a huge looming deadline.
8 p.m.
And it's just I like things like that put upon me, and I'm not a big fan of putting it on others either. Not my call though.
No, not my call either. And perhaps Tucker has better sources than we do.
Yeah.
But again, the
I would hope
president,
so.
yeah, I would hope so too. But the president saying, what did he say exactly? Tucker is a low IQ person that has absolutely no idea what is going on. He calls me all the time. I don't respond to his calls. I don't deal with him. I like dealing with smart people, not fools. Classic Trump.
Yeah.
By the way, I kind of agree with Tucker. The Easter post about open the effing straight, you crazy bastards, praise to Allah. I didn't like seeing that on Easter.
Did you enjoy them talking about bombing Iran with the Easter Bunny sitting next to him there?
I don't know. I liked or loved or hated that. I
bit
more felt
taken
like, am
aback.
I having a stroke?
I was a little bit taken aback with that. I just thought there's a time and a place, and not with the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, the Easter egg roll, kids on the lawn.
Right.
And no, there are several people posting that going, does everybody else see the rabbit? Because I see the rabbit. I'm just checking my sanity here.
Yeah.
No, that was one of those moments where I don't even know what to say to this.
Right. I mean, that's kind of how it felt to it. Time and place, man. That's all I can get. I know it's Trump, and you can't tell him anything kind of guy, but good Lord, man.
Well, I'll just be straight up too with the preacher that is the head of the religious commission for Trump. Paula White Kane, I believe is her
That's the
name.
one that said some outrage statements about
Like compared Trump to like Jesus himself.
That's the one. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, like I agree with Tucker Carlson in that regard too. Woman gives me the creeps.
Big time.
And it's not even it's not like a theological argument or something. She just gives me the creeps, the way
she's put the vibes out. Man.
carries herself.
Yep.
So there are a lot of things going on. And keep in mind, whether it's presidential halls or preachers, that's the devil's favorite target right there.
Because they're a man. At the end of the day, they're still a man. Still flawed.
So we'll see. Now, we also live in this day and age where I personally am seeing some of these photos and videos being brought back from the Artemis II mission. I'm like, this is remarkable.
I saw a few that somewhat impressive, but
like I'd never seen the color on them.
That's what I was
like,
when I
wow.
saw the color. Yeah. Because I always just
Remarkable
think
image.
it to be, and it sounds stupid, I know, but I just assume that the Earth looks like a big dust, or not the Earth, but the moon looks like a big dust ball.
Yeah, because that's how it looks in the sky.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all the photos we do have of
It's
it.
like that hairball
It's
under
like-
the couch. It's
right, but we have really good cameras now. And
I did see the color. That kind of that was a good feeling.
But
also, to hear him say about the window crew, so that means you didn't get to sit by the window. The window crew is reporting. Oh my God, you can't sit by the window.
But apparently conspiracy theorists are going bonkers over a new NASA video that claims they claim proves the Artemis II mission to the moon is staged in front of a green screen. The brave crew gave a live interview on over the weekend to CNN discussing their journey to the moon while a plush toy named Rise floated around the capsule as a sign of zero gravity. But a clip of the interview filmed by a cell phone from the TV allegedly shows visual distortions and flickers of text, including the letters TAN and OW across the toy's body and head. Conspiracists quickly seized on the clip as supposed proof that the entire mission was staged. Green screen studio glitching on the Artemis moon mission. It's all fake, one user posted.
I've seen a lot of that.
Pure green screen bull crap. Same exact fabric they use on movie sets. Artemis, fake as hell. They never went up there. Whole thing's a stage circus, and we're the idiots paying for it. Truth buried under layers of the CGI and lies. Wake up, man.
CGI and lies.
By the way, if you know somebody's lying to you, say for a fact, for the sake of argument, you know somebody's lying to you. Does that mean you know the truth?
No, not always. You just know his truth ain't right. Or
Right.
He thinks to be the truth.
And sometimes
is not
that's a
right.
worse place to be than just being ignorant.
Well, if we want to have that argument, Joey, I'm right, you're wrong. Well, Eddie, you're wrong, but I don't know what right is, but you're wrong.
That's the problem. If we get into all this just pure skepticism and we don't even know what right is anymore.
But I just know you're wrong.
Yeah. However, the more likely explanation appears to be that the clip was recorded from a TV display with a chromo key overlay processing active. Chromo key, also known as green screen or blue screen effect, is commonly used by broadcasters to insert captions, graphics, and lower third text into live footage. Live interviews often include graphic overlays such as captions, logos, and name banners, like we're looking at right there. Yeah. Todd Blanche, the new acting AG, giving an update on corruption or something in the country. What about the Epstein stuff, Todd?
We're not talking about that right now, do we?
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, well, I don't know what's exactly true, but I know I'm being lied to.
Right.
And that's almost a worse place to be than just being blissfully ignorant of stuff.
Oh, certainly.
But we'll get to some of the Artemis stuff, and in particular, the pilot, Victor Glover, like preaching the gospel as they go around the moon.
Oh, I didn't hear that, but that's good.
Actually, let's end this segment, given the heavy nature of it.
Okay.
With that, it was pretty, I think it's remarkable.
Yeah, I like that.
Trump also called him. Sent a big call up there as everything's going on.
But yet I couldn't get a call from Titus to slap out yesterday.
I know. It just doesn't, they're just nothing. What can you believe these days, Eddie? I don't know.
Just saying.
But here is, the pilot there on the mission, Victor Glover. And one thing he said in one of their broadcasts last night.
Remind you of one of the most important mysteries there on earth, and that's love. Christ said in response to what was the greatest command, that it was to love God with all that you are. And he also, being a great teacher, said the second is equal to it, and that is to love your neighbor as yourself. And so, as we prepare to go out of radio communication, we're still to feel your love from Earth, and to all of you down there on Earth and around Earth, we love you from the moon.
Not so bad. Pretty good.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that. Because each year, thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters, and this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders who don't even know your name. much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
We've got a really nice forecast underway today with plenty of sunshine and a warmer day than yesterday. We're going up to about 77 for the high temperature. Still jacket weather nights, mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature drops to about 50. Tomorrow we'll say partial sunshine with a high Wednesday in the middle 70s. Maybe an isolated shower somewhere in the area Wednesday night. But then we're back to dry weather on Thursday with a high around 74, partly sunny. And I think we make it up to near 80 by Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you, you know these folks, Pest Pro Service.
Oh, yeah, dude. They were just out at the Airbnb the other day. They pointed out that the mosquito problem might be coming from some standing water that I didn't know we had. So I'm glad they pointed it out to me. I didn't even realize
that's awesome, though. They could have easily gone and sprayed and
Just
like,
said
well, don't
nothing,
even
yeah.
tell them. No, but like they actually want to solve problems.
Yeah, called me back up and said, hey, just so you know, you got this little issue out there. Thanks.
So it could be mosquitoes, could be termites, could be you have like an acute problem with fire ants or like subterranean yellow jackets. Those are
awful. Yeah, Joey, I don't know how many times you've been stung with those, but usually you'll see the dog in the yard fighting or something. Yeah, it's those spicy raisins. That's it.
The spicy raisins.
Yeah.
Or it could be you're just looking for a great local company with a great reputation who gets the job done well for your basic pest control needs.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that for you there at Pest Pro. And of course, they have this monthly subscription model, which is really reasonably cost and really reasonably priced. And it allows you to control those costs over the entire year and actually budget for something that you should consider a necessity to taking care of yourself and your property. So y'all check them out today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct to 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. Let's go to Clark. Hey, Clark.
Hey, now, how are y'all today?
Good. Clark, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all good. So, a few things on Tucker Carlson's comment.
Okay.
Let's see. Targeting infrastructure. The unconscionable targeting of infrastructure. And non-combatants paying the price in a war they didn't choose.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, anybody, in the history of warfare, when something was persecuted in a more focused fashion than this has been, the entirety of the targets have been the people that precipitated the problem. And as of yet, we've really done a good job of not destroying infrastructure. Now, if President Trump chooses to bluff and bluster about that right now, I'm going to let him have the leeway.
Sure.
He seems to get stuff done. pretty consistently. So I'm okay there. But in the history of warfare, there has never been a time when the initial targets were the people that precipitated the problem. And then he makes a big deal about non-combatants, targeting non-combatants. Let me explain something to you. Unless you've ever had a woman in her mid-40s hug you so hard and then push you to arm's length and look you in the eye and say, you bring my baby home, you don't know what combatants are about, okay? The vast majority of combatants who apparently it's okay to target are people that were either conscripted to serve in militaries or people that love their countries enough to volunteer to do so. And they are all the sons of middle-aged mothers who want their babies to come home. So this notion that you can conquer as many combatants as you want, but don't touch the non-combatants, that does not sit well. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Probably doesn't sound politically correct, but it kind of galls me.
Yeah, and it's a shame, too, though, that it doesn't seem like there's too much chivalry in war anymore to where civilians are essentially a target, and it's been that way since World War II. But your point, this early part of the operation, despite thousands and thousands and thousands of sorties and bombs dropped, they have not hit major civilian infrastructure at all. Like, it's nothing like, for instance, what's so far, I can't imagine Ukraine at this moment, like surviving there. It's going to be insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you brought up World War II. You go back to Dresden.
Yep.
There weren't two bricks, or go back to World War II, talk about Dresden. There weren't two bricks still mortared together when we finished bombing that. I don't know what the human toll was. We killed well over 100,000 in Tokyo with conventional bombs. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are the only two things that get talked about. That was targeting non-combatants and infrastructure. And, I think the beauty of this so far is we and the Israelis have managed to target the malfactors that precipitated all of this. And I don't know. I don't see how anybody can argue with that. I don't know.
Well, and to your also other point, let's see what the president's actually up to. He's got everybody, you look on social media, he's got everybody rightfully freaked out about this deadline. Let's see what actually happens.
Well, it keeps working out for him. So until it doesn't, he's got my support.
There you go. Well, I appreciate it,
Y'all
Clark.
keep talking. I'll keep listening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bud.
272-9228, 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man, right?
I am today.
Good to know. You're going to be a man tomorrow?
That's the plan.
Were you a man yesterday?
Oh, I was a big man yesterday.
And you're a smaller man than you were?
I'm a little more painful man today than I was yesterday.
Oh, goodness. You need to go by Montgomery Men's Health.
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Well, because in your cohort, your age group, you, I'm sure, met the guy who, all of a sudden just lacks confidence about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he used to be a real confident, good-looking fella that would, go through the day. He could solve all sorts of problems, and now he's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times you can tell those people a mile away.
And it's got to be an awful place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then say that lack of confidence extends to lack of confidence in the bedroom.
Especially when you know there's a fix right up the road.
And by the way, when you feel that, she notices.
Oh, yeah.
She might be nice about it, but she notices.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get that solution right up the road, just go by Montgomery Men's Health. They're powered by Men's Pro. They're a men's performance clinic here in Alabama, serving Montgomery, Alabama, and the surrounding areas for years now. In-person care. They get labs done quickly. And with their urology-backed medicine, they can create a customized plan tailored to you. And they have a whole menu of options for what might be bedeviling you. Whether it could be some late ED or just the general problems of low testosterone.
Right.
They have solutions there at Montgomery Men's Health. And especially guys that start having these issues in their 50s and their 60s after treatment there, and sometimes on the very same day.
That's right.
they feel decades younger, getting their confidence back everywhere, including in the bedroom. So y'all check them out today. That's Montgomery Men's Health. You can always make an appointment at 440-3663. For you Verizon customers, at 334-440-3663. Or book online in under 30 seconds at montgomerymenshealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health, for every man in every season of life. Let's see who this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Thunder.
Hey, Thunder.
I need to rattle a little bit if y'all don't mind,
Come on.
especially on the subjects y'all are discussing. At this point, what choice has this country backed itself into other than to obliterate a number of these electrical power, especially the electrical power systems and the various bridges that are used to move ordnance on? We have no choice. None. If we do not take the advantage of a weakened Iranian regime at this point to finish the job, do you not think that within 2 years we will be back at it? Only the Iranians will be more vicious than ever. And anyone who sees all of these power plants that have women and children surrounding it, if you think that those women and children are there voluntarily, you're sadly mistaken. They have a choice to be there. The choice is be there and risk death, or not be there and risk certain death. Because that regime will kill their own people. They have proven it over and over and over again.
That's right.
How many millions, literally millions, because we don't know, Iranians have been killed by this regime? Either we put a stop to it now, as much as it hurts, as many times as I would like to get down on bended knee and pray that the Iranian regime would say, you know, this is stupid. We'll just go live in our caves where we want to live, and they'll leave us alone. United States would never harm Iran had Iran not been chanting for the last 5 decades death to America. And anyone who thinks that had Iran had the capability to strike this country, that Iran wouldn't have, needs to think again. Look at how many of their neighbors that they strike with complete impunity. They have no problems at all striking their own neighbors. What makes you think that they would not strike here? War is hell. I don't remember who said that, but it was said. It sure isn't my thing. War is hell, but sometimes you have to walk through hell to create peace. And I'm afraid this is time that we have to walk through hell to create peace. And for those people who say, well, Donald Trump will back down, he always backs down. I think they're sadly mistaken this time, because if Donald Trump backs down this time, all hell will reign on those countries surrounding Iran who have ever given the United States 1 nanosecond of aid. We have no choice. I pray I am wrong, but we have no choice. My heart goes out to the Iranian people, every one of them. But when they allowed this regime to take control of their country, they gave their country away. I will remind people that Benjamin Franklin said, if you give away security for peace, you will have neither. We don't have any choice.
Oh, there's always a
Tomorrow
choice.
will be a different day.
Well, I appreciate the call, Thunder.
Thank you, Thunder.
Oh, there's always a choice. Don't let fate or necessity be your excuse. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey guys, I listened to that lady before, and I happen to agree with a lot of what she's saying, or if not all of what she's saying. I mean, this is a regime that first came into power by taking over that country, taken hostage, and has just been a menace throughout the history of 46 years. So I agree with her. Sometimes you don't want to fight, but you have to eventually. And so I agree with what's going on. But this is what I was calling about. I'm watching on TV, in New York, California, people leaving, going to Texas and Florida. Because those are just horribly run places. I'd like to throw out there, Alabama's a good place. We've been watching some space exploration. We got Huntsville up there with the propulsion industry going on up yonder. And if you're a shipper, we got docks right down there in Mobile. We got plenty of places that some AI could be put in. But don't get me wrong, I'm scared of AI just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, if everybody else is going to build it, China, i.e. China, mm-hmm. i.e. Russia, mm-hmm. It's one of them things. It's like a human condition. If your enemy's doing it, you got to do it too in order to. But I hope it all turns out good for humanity. But if that's the thing, I'm looking for Tuberville to come in. If there's millionaires leaving New York and California and they want a place to go to, Alabama's a damn good place to come to.
Well, I hear you, man. I appreciate you, Robert.
Take care, Robert.
We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Lunch should be comforting and done right. At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, their meat and three is scratch made to order, not scooped from a steam table. Real cooking, real portions. And for guests 60 and over, it's just $10.99. It's familiar food, elevated, served with care. Lunch at Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Classic Southern comfort, a step above the rest.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, we don't really have a lot of time in this segment, but I was just asking you off air, like, you scared of the Iranians getting you here in Alabama?
No.
Yeah, me either. I mean, there's always, I guess, the chance of the one lone, like the terrorist cell or whatever,
but I'm more worried about them attacking my computer or something like that.
And so for all this talk of security, just responding to the last two folks, I love you both. I think this has much more to do with not just Israel, but Israel's a big part of it, and a lot of the Gulf Arabs wanting us to do their dirty work for them.
Hit them again.
So it has much more to do with the American empire than it does directly defend us.
True.
And man, I just had to fill up again, just on a selfish, practical note.
Yeah.
Gasoline is crazy right now, dude. Crazy.
I'm not being the chicken little, the sky's falling, but we really got to get this a hold of, because gasoline affects every single thing, dude. Everything. It is energy. And I think I paid yesterday $3.86. So that's up over $1. But what really irritates me, and I think most people, is why is something that's causing less than 10% of our supply issue causing our gas to go up by that much? And I think there's instead of, hey, we're going to bomb the crap out of Iran, that's the question I'd rather him be asking.
It's a global market.
It is a global market.
Well, and I just got a text from somebody said you should be driving a diesel. Cost me $120. Dang.
I think it was $5.87 we saw the other day.
Come on. Because I got to throw 89 in mine, at least 89. And it's like 440 something.
Yeah. A friend of mine just bought a car going to require 93. I think she made a mistake yesterday.
Yeah, that's like that's $5 pretty much at this point. Man.
Yep.
Yeah, and 87, like just your basic gas ain't cheap either.
No, it's $3.
Still, I think it's over
$3.6.
$4 actually in certain places. At this point, I was shocked when I looked at the pumps.
I know a friend of mine from California sent me some $6 and $7 pictures, and I just don't get it.
And the question is, like, why is maintaining the empire so expensive to like everyday Americans?
Yeah, we're all part of the HOA. We just have to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
We get no decisions, though, really.
But again, let's see what the fella in charge comes up with.
Yeah, but you'd mentioned the second pilot that was missing, and the fact that he, gone for 2 days, and we found him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really was, and I don't know if they've let a lot of information out, but I think that really was one of the best bait and switches I've seen the U.S. pull in quite some time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think the guy himself had to do like a 7K up a cliff after ejecting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that one had me worried because they were announcing, telling regular Iranians, go find him, we'll give you $60,000, $100,000.
And I was a little like, what in the world? I mentioned it to Jared Hudson yesterday. Like last week, I wrote about, like, think of a soldier at war in the Persian sky and sea with Psalm 118 in between his every heartbeat. Which is about essentially what can a man do to me with God's protection. And then this guy ejects and says over the radio, God is good. And I'm like, I thought it was just a hypothetical. Guess not. Like, crazy times we live in.
Definitely.
Anyway, but it's hard to know what to even believe. And that's the more frustrating part. Every time we do a story, any story, anything, unless you see it with your own eyes. And even then, people just don't believe.
Yeah.
We live in a distrustful age.
I don't see that getting better either. I thought I did, but.
Anyway, we got to hit this break.
All right.
Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has extended his deadline for Iran to cut a deal and to open the Strait of Hormuz from last night to today, but he says this is the final time he will extend it, and at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight is the actual deadline for Iran to comply with his latest ceasefire demand or face the destruction of large portions of its critical infrastructure. Vice President J.D. Vance says he's in Hungary to support Prime Minister Viktor Orban's re-election bid. Vance's visit to Budapest today marks a clear endorsement from President Trump's administration for Orban. He's been trailing in the polls ahead of Sunday's election. Michigan has won the NCAA men's basketball championship. They pulled it off with a 69-63 win last night over UConn, and UConn lost its bid to win what would have been for it a third title in 4 seasons. This is SRN News.
Hi, Mike Gallagher here, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. As we head into spring, there's some good news in the housing market. Rates have recently dropped. When rates drop, payments can drop. That can mean hundreds of dollars a month back in your pocket, money you can use to pay bills, reduce debt, or strengthen your financial position. That's why this is the time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. They're helping homeowners refinance into lower rates and reduce their monthly mortgage payments. Fellowship also offers a fixed rate line of credit for home projects or consolidating a high interest debt with fast approval and a predictable rate. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. That's 2 months of breathing room while you reposition financially. I've used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Before you make your next move, go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
We've got a really nice forecast underway today with plenty of sunshine and a warmer day than yesterday. We're going up to about 77 for the high temperature. Still jacket weather nights, mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature drops to about 50. Tomorrow we'll say partial sunshine with a high Wednesday in the middle 70s. Maybe an isolated shower somewhere in the area Wednesday night, but then we're back to dry weather on Thursday with a high around 74, partly sunny, and I think we make it up to near 80 by Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. 2 people are in critical condition after being shot Monday night in Montgomery. The incident happened just off Zelda Road in the 200 block of Gatsby Drive. MPD responded to the area just before 7 p.m. where an adult male and a juvenile were wounded by gunfire. Details are limited. No further information was made available. A Montgomery woman who was involved in a 2022 mail theft and bank fraud scheme was sentenced to prison on Monday. 37-year-old Rashima Shackelford was sentenced to 10 years after pleading guilty to bank and mail fraud. Shackelford participated in a scheme to steal checks from the mail and make fraudulent bank deposits. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held Monday for the newly constructed Montgomery Biscuits Clubhouse at Davos Park. The new facility sports a weight training room, coach's locker room, and the manager's office. Our Montgomery Biscuits host their season home opener tonight versus the Columbus Clingstones. First pitch, 6:05. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Independent Glass has been your one-stop shop for all things glass since 1978. They offer a full range of architectural products, and they're armed with the knowledge and expertise to get even the most demanding job done, big or small. Attention to detail, 24-hour replacement services, and their uncompromising commitment to excellence is why Montgomery's first choice for all things glass is Independent Glass. Call them today at 263-2823 and learn more about what they can do for you at independentglassco.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center. We've used Blue Water Broadcasting for years, and we attribute our results to what they do for us. If you want results with your advertising, call Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folk helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Iranians form human shields outside power plant.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, here we go. Let's go to the ghost of Hunter Thompson.
Yes, sir.
In the movie The Dark Knight, Alfred is talking to Bruce Wayne. Some men can't be bullied, bought, negotiated, or reasoned with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the second half of that, some men just want to watch the world burn. Well, that doesn't exactly, that's not Iran. They have an end goal in mind, but the first half does hold true. Some men can't be bought, bullied, negotiated, or reasoned with. So what the hell do you do with folks like that? I ask you.
Blackmail them.
Blackmail.
Take my gold, you can take my lead. Seems to go pretty well.
Well, you either take them down or you suffer what they bring on you.
Exactly. I didn't want to say it. I just wanted to hear you say it. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
You ever want to watch the world burn, Joey?
Oh, yeah, I've definitely been in those moods.
Me too.
Used to wake up every morning that way after reading the news.
Well, a good habit is quit reading the news first thing in the morning. I think you broke that habit.
I did break that habit.
Smart.
Yeah, some people can't be reasoned with, but no, we'll see. God permits a lot of evil.
Yeah.
But I've often thought it's better to suffer. It's not exactly intuitively right.
Yeah.
And who of us actually lives up to that? Like you're willing to suffer and forgive somebody who's whooping you or killing you even.
That's a tough call.
Yeah. Most people don't live up to that.
Maybe time, that's about it. Sometimes time can be the healer.
Time's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah. Talking to a 57-year-old who tripped this morning and now my back hurts.
Yeah, your back hurts?
Yeah, my arm hurts.
What's wrong with your arm?
Tripped this morning over a trailer and I don't know. I got my back up and now my arm's killing me. My back's hurting. Yeah. So, yes, time is that's your friend.
272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation, it's 334-272-9228. And here is the vice president.
Okay.
He's in Hungary. I think there's
right.
a big election for Viktor Orban or something going on there in Hungary.
We're not tampering an election somewhere else, are we?
No, we wouldn't do that. Never do that. Never try to influence and win friends and advance our interest in whatever way possible through soft power or hard power.
We got standards. They're just double.
No, I just really quick to underline this, but it's like we are, and by we, I mean that very loosely, but the United States of America is an empire, a globe-trotting empire.
Has been.
For a long time. For decades now, for generations.
Yeah, but we don't like to talk like that.
No, we don't like to talk like that.
No. Kind of like the Chinese, too. They don't like bragging that.
We kind of like to deny that.
Right. That's not us.
And when you look at look at again, we just went through Holy Week. Look at the role of Rome and all that. And if we're Rome, but then we also have this Christian inheritance, which the vice president's going to talk about, We are schizophrenic in a crazy way.
Yeah.
We really are.
I'm not arguing with you on that, bro.
As I said earlier, I think the reason we didn't try to conquer the whole world with the nuke is because of that Christian inheritance. But still, power takes its toll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you can come up with all the hypotheticals you want of like, would you defend your own house and, a just war of defense and all that stuff? Yeah, of course. But it's never that cut and dry,
Nope.
especially when you are a globe-trotting empire. And it's not about defending your own backyard. It's about defending this or that interest on behalf of other people's.
And you can see, look at our history. I mean, to me, it's no denying that. Look at our history.
Yeah.
Even recent history.
But here's the Vice President of the United States talking about, the deadline, the 8 p.m. deadline. Let's listen in.
But we feel confident that we can get a response, whether it's positive or negative. We're going to get a response from the Iranians by 8 o'clock tonight. I hope they make the right response, because what we really want is we want a world where oil and gas is flowing freely, where people can afford to heat their homes and cool their homes, where people can afford to transport themselves to work. That's not going to happen if the Iranians are engaged in acts of economic terrorism. So they've got to know we've got tools in our toolkit that we so far haven't decided to use. The President of the United States can decide to use them, and he will decide to use them if the Iranians don't change their course of conduct.
Pretty straight up. The Vice President had much more to say at this little get-together. And this is where he gets into J.D. Vance, the historian, J.D. Vance, the defender of Western Christian civilization. J.D. Vance, the guy's about to come out with a brand new book called, I believe, Confession, which is all about his faith journey and eventual conversion to Catholicism. Just sitting here thinking about how an interfaith marriage is quite a thing. Anyway, we'll keep praying for Usha. But here is J.D. Vance. Well, talking about what unites the United States of America and Hungary. Let's listen in.
President Trump's leadership. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here primarily, Victor, because of the economic cooperation between our countries. I'm here because of the moral cooperation between our two countries. Because what the United States and Hungary together represent under Victor's leadership and under President Trump's leadership is the defense of Western civilization. The defense of the idea that children should be able to go to school and get educated and not indoctrinated. The defense of the idea that European and American families should be able to transport themselves and be able to afford to heat and cool their homes. The defense of the idea that we are founded on a certain Christian civilization and Christian values that animate everything from freedom of speech to rule of law to respect for minority rights and protection of the vulnerable. There is so much that unites the United States and Hungary, and unfortunately, there have been too few people who have been willing to stand up for the values of Western civilization. Viktor Orban is the rare exception that has unfortunately proved the rule. That's one of the reasons why I'm here.
So the Vice President continued to lay out commonalities, but he goes on. In particular, talking about the folks who are consistently, and he's especially looking at a lot of the Europeans, who can't stand Hungary, but a lot of the folks that stretches across borders all the way across the ocean to this country, that if you are truly trying to hold on to that tradition and proudly talk about, like I say, as Sir Kenneth Clark would talk about Western civilization, and in particular, a civilization defined by our Christian religion, then you must be an oppressor. It must be just domination. Look at all the problems of history. Look at all the issues that have cropped up in history. All fair show good?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Technical difficulties, but we got them fixed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Somebody had to tweak their nipple?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Sometimes that does it.
Sometimes, but sometimes it makes it worse.
But here's J.D. Vance taking on the anti-Western mindset. Or I think it goes off the rails to where it's just purely self-flagellating.
Oh, yeah.
Let's listen in.
Bureaucrats on both sides of the Atlantic. Now, its followers don't see Western society as flawed, yet worthy of reform. Instead, they view the very foundations of our shared civilization as illegitimate. In Western history, they don't see a proud tradition. They see only injustice. In our borders, they see exclusion and racism. In Christianity, they see not liberation, but oppression. And in the family, they see constraint. Their most radical members, of course, tear down monuments to our national heroes or throw buckets of fake blood on precious artworks in museums. They stage assassinations of law enforcement officers. They set fire to churches. They declare they're never going to have kids lest they increase their carbon footprint. But we, of course, we see something different, my friends. We defend our borders because we know that it's the most vulnerable among us who suffer when our streets are given over to chaos and violence. Some of them call themselves feminists, pretending they care about women. Yet it is their policies that have seen an explosion of migrant crime and sexual assault.
So J.D. Vance pointing out something I pointed out. Well, yeah. No,
Good to see him do it, too.
It's one thing to actually, address the sins of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had somebody on Facebook, like the thing I wrote this week about going back to the very church I was raised in, which is Roman Catholic. People were bringing up the history of the church. And I'm like, yeah, awful. Like, it's kind of why I believe, by the way.
But I don't think that's the reply they were looking for.
No, but it's just like, you just have to be honest about it.
Right.
Awful. Some awful things that were done in the name of authority and power.
By man.
By man. Amen. And so there's no denying that.
Right.
But the idea that all of a sudden you figured out a better way. Okay. Okay. Perhaps even the best way is still, allows people the freedom to do awful things, including those who have a lot of authority and power.
Free will, right?
Yeah.
Free will.
Something like that. A lot is permitted for the sake of our freedom.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the vice president really putting it out there. I mean, this is just explicit, and I love it, by the way.
We just celebrated Easter, of course, all of us. And for 2,000 years, our civilization has been shaped above all, and beyond all, by the sacrificial love of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a heck of a standard to live up to.
Oh, yeah. Of course. It's just a goal, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a goal.
Oh.
You're going to come up short with goals, but they don't.
Well, there are a few
stop you
that
from
live
trying.
up to that standard.
Sure. Very few.
But then here's the kicker. Going with the last clip and then that clip. There are folks that will try to reduce down that sacrificial love into a thing that would upend the very sacrifice that Christ made once for all.
So you're saying they'll twist the words there, Joe?
Yeah. They'll try to use a distilled, weird copy of the message that's really a perversion of the message to then eliminate the very thing from which they got their distilled copy.
Counter-programming.
Happens a lot.
Yes, it does, Joe.
Yeah, it's kind of like the French Revolution or the commies. They're all about equality, peace, and love, right?
French peace.
All right. 272-9228. Again, we're all kind of waiting around seeing what Trump's going to do tonight. Like, there is this sort of quiet before the storm.
It is. And one of the callers that called a while ago with off-air deals, we were talking about that. He said, I listen to you guys all the time for a couple of years now. He said, this is the first time I ever really heard true fear in your voice, not fear of your personal safety, but fear of what the heck is fixing to happen.
Right.
And, at first I honestly took that as a little bit defensively, but he's right. And,
he's
there's
right.
no hiding it. There's no hiding it.
Just be honest about it.
Yeah, there's a very uncomfortable feeling. And it does. It just feels like something's glooming overhead.
What'd you eat today?
We went by Hardee's, which that was a mistake.
You went by Hardee's for breakfast?
Oh, Big Back was starving for some Hardee's. So
Big Back?
Yeah.
That's a new nickname?
No, that's what I've been calling her. You ever seen her eat? Dude, when you go to the buffet, she gets 2 plates at one time, if not 3. Yeah, she wants some Hardee's this morning, so I went to Hardee's. No hair in the biscuit, but it was kind of dry.
Oh, I remember when they used to sell their biscuits. Like, that was their selling point of fresh made in the morning biscuits.
It was fresh made, but I don't know if it was today. Yeah.
An old Big Back. Let's go to line 1.
You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Hey, what's up? You're on there.
It's the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Ayatollah of rock and roller.
I just talked to the former Ayatollah from the Virgin's headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
I used my Ouija board last night.
Yeah,
Spoke
careful
to him.
with the Ouija board and the divinization. I don't want you possessed.
Yeah, please.
Well, the board did move a little bit.
Oh, goodness. Now I'm even nervous about this phone call.
Is the phone moving?
I'm feeling a bad energy,
Yeah,
I have to
me
say. Really dark energy.
Oh, Lord. You know, here's what's ironic is about Mr. Trump. You know the reason why he said a specific date and time and everything? It's a psychological warfare game. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to happen except
Right.
the planners in the military.
Right.
True.
Now, sometimes I can talk a good talk to make you come to the table because I've already shown you I have the capabilities
Right.
of doing what I said. It doesn't mean I'm going to have to do it the next time and step it up. But it's telling you that this is just the beginning. It could be twice as worse. And I love what Mr. Trump said. What he said, he would bomb them into what? To the prehistoric times?
Yeah, the Stone Age.
Yeah, but it's kind of been said for many rednecks for a long time now.
And then the quote from this morning, Soldier Boy, is a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will.
Yeah, that's the stuff I can
Well,
use without.
here's the thing. Here's the thing about it is, too. I was reading an article the other day that China is sneaking in parts of missiles, not the whole missiles, but the parts so they can assemble them. And they're doing that because when they go to the Strait of Hormuz, they're not stopping the Chinese boats.
Right.
Okay. Chinese boats are just coming in and out, getting the oil, and then moving on.
Yep.
Where Mr. Trump should do is stop them too. Okay, because that as long as they continue to have an economic pipeline, that's what's going to happen. They're just going to keep on going through and get the oil and giving them missiles because by now they should be out of missiles. So what do I need? Here it comes back. Remember the old Russia did with Cuba when JFK had to turn those boats around back to Russia, buddy, during the missile crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not much different here. We're not just sending the whole thing and we're not putting them on top like the Russians did. They were stupid as God. They put the missiles right on top of the boats, you know.
Yeah.
But the parts and the pieces and everything that they're assembling there underground, like the Nazis did with the Me-262 jet fighters, they were all assembled underground. Couldn't get to them. Okay, so that's how they kept their battle going because they ought to be out of missiles by now. But as long as I've got oil and I can sell it to the Chinese at a good cheap price, I still got cash coming in.
Yep.
Okay, so with that being said, I don't believe anything's going to happen tonight. I don't. Might happen tomorrow afternoon, but it ain't going to happen tonight. I don't believe because he's not going to say, "Well, crap's going to come down at midnight tonight." Why would you tell that? Because Ahmed's going to get up there with his Stinger missile on his shoulder, ready to launch anything that comes across, the skies. That's how the F-15 was hit down. Okay. Why would I tell you when that's going to happen?
It's a good point, and also there are little signals out there, like Iran has saying they've ended all direct communications with the U.S., but there's still ceasefire negotiations going on indirectly, which is also your point about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Officially, there wasn't much talking, but I think Khrushchev and Kennedy were back channeling.
No, I love what the CIA did when they announced when the co-pilot of the F-15 when he got shot down. Okay, what they put out that he had been already rescued.
Right, they did, and they're driving him out of the country. Yeah,
exactly. In the meantime, we're doing everything left and right. I tell you one thing. I bet that the Iraqi soldiers were happy they didn't run into a Delta force when these guys, because I've seen some of the documentaries of what SEALs have to go through, and they're just badass. Wrong people to mess with, professionals. They're used to being tortured. They're used to everything. They go through the real stuff. The washout rate is like 80%.
Yep.
But they don't want to really mess with a Delta unit coming in looking for them. And like you said, first thing is that co-pilot went down. That beacon went out first thing. I'm sure they were trying to pick it up. But Russia needs to chill out because they're getting their butts whooped with drones from Ukraine. I got to admit, Ukraine's one SOB. They're some tough people.
Yeah, well, especially with the new warfare and the drone, it's been, in terms of war, ingenious.
In 15 minutes, the drone boat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, then also essentially creating a drone kill zone about 10 miles behind the line of contact.
Yep.
So as Russia sends small contingents to go take towns, like even 2-3 people at a time, you have drones destroying any sort of supply line possibilities.
Yep.
And it's bringing everything to a grinding halt for the Russian advance.
And drones are super cheap.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're super cheap. I mean, like they were saying, in 50 minutes is pretty cool too. Is why don't we make $60,000 drones a weapon to hit that instead of using $1 million missiles?
I think that's something we're working on. Just hadn't got there yet.
Well,
and I think another thing people don't realize, they leaked it out with the British, that they have and they've used it, is their laser gun on their boat to knock out drones.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the new technology that knock out drones. They're going to use lasers because I guess it's cheaper and more cost effective.
Well, hope they don't have to be used on a grander scale than they already are being used. I got to run, man. Appreciate the call as always. Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla.
See you, man.
All right. This is part of the program brought to you by Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. James Cole and the team are ready to help you out.
Yes, they are, Joe.
Any and all your plumbing needs. Could be, you got a simple job like a flapper doesn't work on your toilet. You don't know how to fix it.
You don't know how to fix it, but you just hear the toilet running all the time.
Or it could be you got a drippy faucet.
Yep, that happens too. Need some O-ring action.
Could be that garbage disposal stinks and it doesn't really seem to work.
Let me go ahead and tell you, it does stink no matter what. Yeah, there's nothing worse when you don't, or when you find out it doesn't work, because usually you got it full of stuff.
That's and it's still making noise.
Yeah,
like,
but it's just,
like it's barely turning off, sort of thing. Well, why not get a new one put in by Cole Plumbing? And of course, maybe you got a big problem like a gas line leak, God forbid. That's truly dangerous. You need to get on top of it immediately. Cole Plumbing can help you there. Or maybe a big water leak inside or outside the home. They can help you fix those sorts of problems without tearing out a bunch of drywall inside or digging up a huge hole in your yard. They can do so with precision expertise.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about making an outdoor kitchen, man, they'll come out, run gas lines, water lines, everything else you might need for that.
And they can help you upgrade also, like into the bathroom or the kitchen, any sort of plumbing needs, like a new toilet.
A new taller toilet, Joey.
You'll check them out today. You can always make an appointment online, learn more at coleplumbing.com, or just give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Y'all hear about all those politicians making money in the stock market?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi's making a killing.
Yeah, she is, and so is Coach.
Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah, he and Pelosi are making millions. Turns out old Senator Tuberville's trading ag futures while he's on the ag committee.
Wow, Tommy Tuberville's making a killing in the stock market.
Yep, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's all just a big game to Coach Tuberville.
In 2024, Tommy Tuberville made millions trading stocks, just in 1 year.
Wonder what else there is.
So Tommy Tuberville is making millions in the stock market, all in the industries he regulates.
Tommy Tuberville's great at making millions. For himself.
Now I want to know.
Just how much money did Tommy Tuberville and Nancy Pelosi make for themselves in the stock market?
Why don't we ask him? Let's call Tommy Tuberville. Ask him how much money he made himself in the stock market.
And tell him, for us, it's not a game.
This advertisement is paid for by the Alabama Leadership Fund.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you could help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you could make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
After a nice day today, we're in for another chilly night tonight. Clear to partly cloudy, overnight low temperature down to about 50. Tomorrow we'll say partly sunny with a high temperature in the middle 70s. Perhaps a few widely scattered isolated showers Wednesday night, but not many. Then back to dry weather on Thursday with a high around 74, partly sunny. And we're up near 80, I think, by Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
this part of the program?
Yeah.
Brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder. They're at Dillon Rings.
I seen him working again the other day.
Yeah?
Okay, when he puts his sausage fingers under that microscope, I don't
can't
see
put
how.
it that sausage. That's not very nice.
You saw the little bracelet thing he was working with the other day. I don't know how he did it.
It's incredible.
Right. I mean, you put it under there. I don't see nothing but his fingers, but he does a little weld and boom, it's fixed.
It's incredible. Like he fixed that crucifix, that crucifix pendant, like necklace.
Yes.
It snapped in half. And he's able to fix it just beautifully.
That's
like
crazy.
with this microscopic welding.
I know you see him looking through the peep eye thing, and all I see is sausage fingers.
And of course, I've been working with Josh Ryder on a customized piece, and he's so easy to work with. In fact, I admit it, Josh, if you're listening, I'm the difficult one. I'm like, hey, can it be a little, can it be a little more this? Can it be a little more crimson? surprise, surprise.
Right.
And I have to. I don't want to be a braggart about it or too showy, but I guess I'm going to have to show folks.
Yeah, but you knew what you wanted, and you brought him into that envision, and you guys worked together to kind of create this.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're at the prototyping stage.
That's awesome.
But if you're looking for like the custom dream jewelry that you really want to make it a reality there at Dillon Rings, there's no need to wait, and they now have flexible financing options.
Oh, nice.
So you can take your perfect piece home today. Or, maybe you want to get a custom engagement ring, for instance.
I'm telling you, dude, that'd put her over the top.
So I think this is Acima or Acmia, ACIMA leasing. No credit check required for qualified customers. Easy to lease to own payments let you enjoy your custom ring or jewelry now and own it at the end of the term with early purchase options available to save even more. Perfect if you just want a simple weekly or monthly payments.
Right.
They also have Synchrony deferred interest. I've used one of those when I bought some furniture. 0% interest on 12 to 18 months. Great thing. Where you just make sure you're making those regular monthly payments before the term is up.
Gives you a chance to build some credit.
And so if you pay in full by the end of the promotional period, no interest on it. Nice. Low minimum monthly payments and quick in-store approval. So just stop by there. And so, you might be thinking like, I can't afford a $5,000 ring or something like that. But it's like, maybe not with cash, but you can over 12 months.
Yep.
Especially if it's something like really, really special and unique that you really love.
Agreed.
So stop by Dillon Rings today. Stop by their studio at 119 Brown Springs Road in Montgomery, or you can always call them direct at 334-215-3669. That's 215-3669. You can call them today. And I know from experience, get down there, start talking to Josh. Here's what I'm thinking of. You're going to love the experience. Yeah. And then I'm not even at the end of it yet. I'm looking forward to it. See, I'll check them out today. Be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Oh, we could have a complete unveiling.
A complete unveiling.
Yes. Like you could have it on and then we do the reveal.
And I'd take it out from under my shirt.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. But
No, the plan is mostly to wear it under my shirt.
I figured that, but you have to reveal it, Joey.
No, sometimes you got to reveal things. But sometimes it's better to, leave things to the imagination.
Not all the time, because you end up with disappointment. Or maybe I just got a great imagination.
Hey, let's go local for a second.
All right, what you got?
First off, that little thing I told you off air.
Yes.
Like, homeless guy today. And like I told Troy the other day, like I had it yesterday. I see this guy, it's on the Perry Hill exit off 85 southbound. And I realized, I didn't even crack open this whole liter of water for when I was working out. So I was like, hey man, here you go. He was thankful. And, that's my usual route in the morning. So I stopped there again today and he kind of looks at me and starts like, he's almost mad.
Did you think he recognized you from yesterday?
I don't even know. And then he starts getting out in front of the cars.
Oh boy.
And like putting what looked like a piece of pizza crust, like under people's, not Mike, he kind of looked at my car, like looked at me and then walked to the next car, like walking into traffic as people are waiting there at that exit.
Yeah.
It was like putting things under people's wheels and saying things to us that weren't exactly clear.
Right.
Kind of tweaking out.
Yeah.
Like acting very erratic on something.
Medical moment there, yep.
And, I called the non-emergency line, be like, just check on this guy. He's going to get hurt or he's going to hurt somebody else the way he's behaving. But he was still there. And it's just an example of like, I got a heart, but I'm happy to try to help folks, but it's,
dude, it's tough sometimes.
At a certain point, you're like, that's a nerve-wracking situation for everybody.
It is. And there are times when, and I've done this too, where I've helped the wrong people. I totally felt, but they got me, and I felt like God was pulling on my heartstrings, and I go do something for them, and I see them 3 or 4 days later.
Well, I've
doing the
learned not
complete
to do
opposite,
cash.
so. No, I don't do cash anymore, but I've done a lot of food.
Water.
A lot of food, yeah.
Happy to do that. But, yeah, but you're also like, where are the institutions here in the city to get by there to at least do a wellness check on a person who is acting incredibly erratic and messing with cars sitting there getting off the interstate?
I don't know how often you have to go to the hospital, but right there at that intersection, there's always
Oh,
a guy
Mulberry.
there. Yeah, and there used to be a guy there with a sword for the longest time.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't, I'm like you with that. Where's everybody at?
And for all the nonprofits that have been stood up and all
Yeah.
the things going on, and, you know, I'm sure the Montgomery Police Department immediately got somebody out there. I finally did get somebody on the non-emergency line.
Did you?
Yeah, they did pick up.
I've called a couple
and
times.
take the report.
Yeah, take the report. Yeah. But they're usually honest with me, too, and they were shorthanded. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like all I can do is call them, so that's all Citizen A can do.
But here is a thing that last time Andrew Szymanski was on the show, he was mentioning this.
Yeah.
The system is failing people around me. Montgomery months away from losing millions in federal small business funding. Montgomery has only sent out a small amount of the $5 million in Federal American Rescue Plan Act funding earmarked for local small businesses, while spending over $1 million on administration.
See.
According to one Montgomery small business owner. There are about 8 months left before the remaining $2 to $3 million in federal funds could possibly have to be sent back to the Department of Treasury due to a federal program deadline. Yeah, it says Mansky was raising a little cane about this at the meeting. About $5 million in federal ARPA funds were earmarked for small businesses in Montgomery in 2021. The program, Small Business One-Stop Shop, SBOSS, was originally intended to be a grants program for small businesses, but eventually became a half-grant, half-forgivable loan program through Hope Credit Union that hasn't been successful in providing capital to local small businesses.
There's your problem.
Hope Credit Union? I don't even know who they are.
We'll go off air about it.
Okay. You have experience?
Oh, yes.
Give them what you do?
Yep.
Oh.
Lots of disappointment.
Yeah, were originally intended to be a grants program, but eventually became a half-grant, half-forgivable loan program. According to the City of Montgomery's open finance portal, Gateway Solutions, the managing agency of SBOSS, has been paid $1.16 million since 2024 for SBOSS program management. The president of Gateway Solutions is Nicole Thompson. Wade Preston, owner of Prevail Coffee Roasters and Prevail Union Montgomery, which, great business.
Yeah.
Amazing, beautiful building.
Love
Talk
that.
about a lot of money invested into a coffee shop. And it's more than a coffee shop. It's just a great place to meet people.
Place to hang
and
out, have a great
great
little
events.
meeting. Yep.
So I would listen to Wade. Like, Wade is a
Wouldn't you?
a
Got the
gem
experience?
here. Wade's a champ. Like, you should, you know, we have leaders and we have leaders, and it's not always people who are elected.
Right.
So Wade, owner of Prevail Coffee and Roasters and Prevail Union Montgomery, told 1819 News in a recent interview that he'd been keeping an eye on the program since it was first announced by the federal government due to his struggles during the pandemic. Both got hit so hard during COVID. We hustled, we fought, we did everything we could to keep the doors open, and we're very proud of the fact that we didn't let go of a single employee during COVID.
Nice.
We found ways to keep the lights on and keep making payroll, Preston said. Preston said he started becoming concerned about the program's slow implementation. He said he received a $5,000 grant in Atlanta in 2023 for a coffee shop he owns there, before Montgomery had even signed a contract to begin implementing their earmarked funds. The ARPA distribution pattern happened in 2021. Now we're all the way into May of 2024 is when the actual contract got executed for Gateway Solutions and SBOSS as the administrator for the ARPA funds program. The contract that they got was wildly different in scope than the RFP, request for proposal. The RFP was a grants program to distribute grants to small businesses, was the central part of that program. It had some administrative and support things in it for sure. The central pillar of the RFP was to distribute grants to small businesses, Preston said. The entire scope changed, and at that point, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical of the program once I saw what they were doing. I was like, man, this is not going to work. As a small business owner and entrepreneur for a decade and a half, going through a loan process is long, and it's arduous, and there's a lot of details to be sorted out. For businesses that needed assistance,
yeah,
that was going to be a difficult thing, first and foremost. Making a struggling small business go into debt in order to access aid money, that just didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, when Szymanski mentioned to me that the other day, I'm like, wait, you gotta go spend all the money before you can get the grant?
And hope that you get the grant.
Preston said he still applied for funds through SBOSS for both of his businesses. He received an approximately $37,500 half grant, half loan through the program for Prevail Union, but was denied a loan for Prevail Coffee Roasters, his wholesale business. Preston said the $37,500, half of a maximum allowable reward to his business, is the only aid sent to a small business through SBOSS. He said the system is failing people around me. Think of how many small businesses have closed between 2021 and here we are in 2026, no meaningful amount deployed. Our cafe getting that half loan, to my knowledge, is the only aid that has actually gone out to a small business through this whole program. $5 million and $37,500 divided by 2. It hasn't actually been deployed. It's tied to debt right now. $1.76 million has gone to SBOSS. My understanding, too, is $200,000 has gone to Hope Credit Union for services rendered to do the underwriting
Ding, 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 ding.
that didn't amount to anything, Preston said. You're talking about a program that the first distributions to the city from the federal government went out in 2021. The RFP from the city went out in 2022. There was $5 million earmarked for small business, and in a period of essentially from 21 to April of 26, and in that time, not only has no meaningful amount of money gone to small businesses, but half of it's gone. We don't have any deliverables to account for it.
Shocker.
SBOSS can say, oh, we hosted these events and we talked to these people. I'm sure they've done some good work. I'm sure they've inspired some people to build a business or whatever and given them some templates. Sure, that's fine, but is that worth the fact that now half the money is gone and we have until the end of the year to distribute it? If you couldn't get that money distributed from 2021 to April of 26, what makes you think that you're going to use the same people and the same vehicles to get it distributed the right way from April 26 to December of 2026?
They're not going to. Chances are they've got 2 people they're going to give it to. They're waiting for 24 hours before the loan program dries up, and that's who gets it.
The Montgomery City Council will consider at its meeting on Tuesday night how to alter the program to try to deploy the remaining federal funds before the fast approaching deadline. I see a lot of people saying, how are we going to deploy this $2.5 million between now and December? The first question in my mind there is, what happened to the first $2.5 million? You have to answer that question first, Preston said. What a corrupt mess, man.
That's how a lot of that works, man. It's easy to say, hey, we are a small business builder. So we do meetings, we offer training. It doesn't matter if anybody takes advantage of it or not. We still pay for it. And I've been part of those small business incubators quite a few times. Very seldom has it ever panned out to be nothing more than a scam.
That's crazy.
And then when you bring in that credit union,
well, and you think about the trillions of dollars that went out the door in the name of COVID and then the other stuff the Biden administration did. And even I saw that's old interview from a few years back, Ezra Klein and Jon Stewart going through the process of actually receiving grants. It's insane. And it's clearly, it's like, this is a microcosm of the macro problem of the graft and all these consultants and all these people that don't do anything other than take.
Yeah. What do you say? It's $2.5 million gone already? And 37,000 went to one person that you know of. That's it. I guarantee you that money would not have been returned to the Fed. It's just going to get ate up.
Yeah.
That's all that would have happened.
This part of the program. Frustrating.
Dude, come on over to the entrepreneur side. You think you're frustrated here on the news side, man.
No, thanks. I'm going to write a novel.
Ooh, will it be a love story?
There's so much money in that. No, with the love story, maybe. Like, what happened to Joey? I thought he would have been all like Catholic. No, he got into Harlequin romance novels all of a sudden.
Found the key right there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's selling it to middle-aged women.
You could do your own modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a friend at Hyundai that did the modeling for one of those things.
Yeah, that is funny. Like, how do you make money? Oh, real estate. How do you make money? I'm talk radio. How do you make money? Oh, I write smut for middle-aged women.
You'd be the richest of all of us, though.
Yeah, Nicholas Sparks made a killing, right? Oh, but his stories were wholesome. Okay.
Really?
Sure they were.
Okay.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, and they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and the team ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell property or house here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market for about half a century now. And not only can his team and Bo himself actually help you buying and selling property, they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. And why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group manage it for you? So check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of the program.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, we believe great advertising starts with relationships. That's why so many local business owners trust us, not just for radio, but for digital too. If you're already running digital advertising and you're not seeing results, it may be time to explore your option. Our team takes the time to understand your business, then builds custom campaigns using a multi-channel conversion-focused approach. So whether it's digital display, social media, or you need help increasing your online presence, Blue Water Broadcasting can help. Before your next campaign, let's have a conversation. Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones, talk to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just on bomb Iran watch.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Old Beach Boys song. But anyway, the golden rule when I was fiddle-faddle in Grants was, and Eddie, you probably heard this before, don't ever, never send any money back. Because if you do, they won't give you any of the next grant cycle.
This is true.
Yep.
There's no incentive to, well, we didn't use all the money on what the RFP was for. We didn't use, we followed the grant guidelines and we completed the mission. So shouldn't we get rewarded?
Yep.
Yeah. Shouldn't we get rewarded for doing that? No, you won't get money. And I was told that, and I sat there and I looked at him and I was in shock. I said, that's right. There's no incentive to do the right thing.
No, it's not. It's the other way around.
And what happened to this city still, in the city, I don't know where the county is, the city's still paying the consultant 40-something thousand a month to help them spend the money. So are they going to get money back because they didn't help them spend the money? And that is such a big farce because the city and the county have had multiple federal grants before.
Mm-hmm.
And all you need is a good lawyer. All you need is somebody who's good with numbers and somebody that can do, read the English language and can follow the grant guidelines.
Right.
It's not that hard, but they made it sound like, you had to be a rocket scientist. And it's a big scam that we fall for.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, Simpler Days. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, they can help you whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance that current home.
Right.
You know, you can't control interest rates, housing inventory, what the national news is freaking out about or whatever given week. But you can control your own timing and who you decide to work with. And so if you get with Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage, they're going to be able to help you out. Because real estate decisions are not one size fits all.
Right.
So depending on your situation, whether you're going through a divorce or the family's growing bigger or now you're empty nesters, you need to buy a new place. Figure that out. They can help you there. Or you're looking to refinance to get debt off your back or make sure retirement funds last. Or it could be you're a veteran and you've just never taken advantage of a VA mortgage, which you should.
You should.
Well, get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. Great local folks. Let Kim and Madeline prove to you today that there is a difference in mortgage companies. MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Barry Moore, alongside Brylan Hollyhan.
Nice.
They're on the campaign trail together. Okay. They should be joining the show right after this break.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has a gloomy prediction for Iran if it rejects his latest offer of a ceasefire. In his announcement of one final deadline extension last night, the president said if the Iranian regime does not accept his offer by 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, it's going to face widespread destruction of things like its bridges and its electrical plants. He says they need to agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, at the UN Security Council today, Russia and China vetoed a move that would have forced the Strait to be open. They've been opposing that effort all along. Also, at srnnews.com, if you use Samsung's texting app, this is a serious message for you. It's going to be discontinued in July. Samsung Messages will no longer be operating. Impacted owners of Samsung smartphones and other gadgets being asked to switch to Google Messages. This is SRN News.
You're not just overweight, you're in survival mode. No pill or crash diet's going to fix that. They don't address why your body is storing fat. At PhD Weight Loss, they treat unwanted weight as a symptom, a signal that your metabolism, hormones, and stress response need attention. Fix that, and the weight comes off naturally. Call PhD Weight Loss, mention Mike G, you'll get 2 weeks free, and they'll pay for your food. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, mention Mike G, or go to myphdweightloss.com.
Hi, Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Step up your grilling game with our Solaire portable infrared grills. Our compact everywhere is a favorite of RVers and trailer pullers. Solaire infrared provides the quick sear for bar marks and texture needed to properly finish sous vide. Use a portable alongside your larger conventional grill to create an instant sear zone and more juicy and flavorful food. Learn more at BestHotGrill.com. Affordable, powerful, portable infrared grills at BestHotGrill.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
After a nice day today, we're in for another chilly night tonight. Clear to partly cloudy, overnight low temperature down to about 50. Tomorrow we'll say partly sunny with a high temperature in the middle 70s. Perhaps a few widely scattered isolated showers Wednesday night, but not many. Then back to dry weather on Thursday with a high around 74, partly sunny. And we're up near 80, I think, by Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
1819 News.
This week is the last few days of the 2026 legislative session. Lawmakers in the Alabama House will consider a bill that already passed in the state Senate that would require all public high schools to establish one day in the fall semester of the school year where military recruiters can administer the ASVAB test. That test is called the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test, and it's done on a voluntary basis. The ASVAB test helps determine a person's skill and aptitudes in areas of comprehension, math, electronics, and science. The test results are then used in placing a person who has decided to enter the U.S. military as a recruit. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
The news cycle can be overwhelming, to say the least. Andrea Tice cuts through all the noise with the Daily Detail from 1819 News, Alabama and national news in just 10 to 15 minutes. What you need to know before you start your day. Find the Daily Detail wherever you get your podcast.
The city of Montgomery has an impending deadline to help small businesses in that area. $5 million from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act has been sent to Montgomery and earmarked for local small businesses. The grants and loans would be administered under the program called Small Business One-Stop Shop, or SBOSS. Several small business owners have been tracking this program since it started up in 2021, but the small business owners are now telling 1819 News that the money has been used on the city administration of the SBOSS program, and small businesses have received very little of the grant and loan monies from ARPA. The city now has 8 months left in 2026 to distribute all of this money before it has to be sent back to the U.S. Department of Treasury. The small business owners say that a lot of time has been wasted and a lot of businesses have closed down due to the failure of the SBOSS program to help small businesses. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. We're about 5 hours away from Trump's deadline for the Iranians. Put out this morning, a whole civilization will die tonight. Whew. But joining us now, as we were previewing, we have Congressman Barry Moore, candidate to be your next United States Senator from the great state of Alabama, and Brylan Hollyhan joining us alongside Barry. They're out on the campaign trail. Gentlemen, how are you two?
Good to see you, Joey. Good to see you, Joey. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing very, very well. First, where are y'all calling in from?
We're in Huntsville, Alabama. I just spoke at a luncheon up here for Republican women, and so we're in North Alabama going to Marshall County tonight.
Very cool. Yeah, I was just telling my sidekick Eddie that we got to get an outdoor setup. I'm stuck in this studio over here all the time. But I first want to start off on it. It's people have been calling saying Eddie and I seem a little more serious today, and this deadline is ominous, especially with the president's message tonight. So, Congressman, what do you make of where we are right now with Iran and what we might see?
Well, you don't know what to expect, obviously, but I think that the president doesn't bluff very often, Joey. I've not known him to bluff. Now, he'll fire a shot across the bow to get everybody to the table and remember the art of the deal. So I'm cautiously optimistic that that's a shot across the bow, that they need to come to the table.
And, of course, you have the president's endorsement in this Senate race.
Yes, I got it in January, J.D. Vance in February, and then Turning Point, and got Susan B. Anthony yesterday. And I got Brylan Hollyhan, so, I mean, other than that, what could I ask for, man?
Well, Brylan, tell us about why you're supporting Barry.
Yeah, I work with politicians every day, all day, and I can't say I call a lot of them close friends, but Barry's definitely one of those guys. Ever since I got started in politics in the 4th grade, Barry has been a subscriber to my show, has always commented, supported, and just been a good buddy. And getting to actually see a real human being in Congress doing this crazy novel concept, like actually doing what he said he was going to go to Congress to do. When I had dinner with Coach and he mentioned that he was thinking about running for governor, one of the first calls I made walking out into that parking lot was to Barry, and I said, you got to think about it. You got to talk about a Senate campaign, because it's that important to have these good people. But what Barry's going to do every single day is to try to make Congress a little bit less like a nursing home and a little bit more like Alabama. And I think we can all get on board with that. And so I look forward to seeing the day we can call him Senator Moore.
There you go. I like the nursing home idea. I think you're right. Those a little long in the tooth. Well, I guess good pharmaceutical benefits up there. So we'll see. Now, when you're out on the campaign trail, like what are the top issues folks here in Alabama are really bringing up as you're getting to know them?
I think it's just the Save America Act. I mean, it's a 85-15 issue, Joey. I mean, we want U.S. citizens voting in U.S. elections. That kind of seems like common sense to us. And so, for me, that's one of the things that people want to see us get done. I mean, we won't just secure U.S. elections. The border's in a good spot. Everybody kind of agrees that was a huge issue in the last cycle. The president delivered on that. But the Save America Act to protect the elections, make sure that we have people that are not U.S. citizens voting in our elections, electing our leaders. I think that's one of the concerns right now. We'd love to see that thing get across the finish line.
Yeah, there was a packed luncheon in Huntsville a few minutes ago that you spoke at, and a bunch of the conversation revolved around the war in Iran. Everybody's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen tonight. A lot of the young people I talk to on campuses are asking their congressmen and their senators these same questions. A lot of the response that we just heard from these wonderful Republican ladies is that they're proud to see that America is not being trampled on anymore. Yes, we want to make sure that our generation's not sent on the front lines to, serve in some proxy war if we're, put troops on the ground. We're definitely against, a move like that. But I think having a continuation of American independence and American dominance in this country is a pretty cool thing to see. If you think that the president's going to bluff, just look no further than Nicolas Maduro or the Ayatollah to see that President Trump doesn't just draw a red line in the sand with a crayon, like I say a Barack Obama or Joe Biden does. He means that red line, and I guess the Iranians better listen up to that. Wise up before the deadline tonight.
Yeah, and we will see what actually transpires tonight. Now, yesterday we were able to bring live the Artemis 2 mission, actually breaking Apollo 13's record, farthest human beings have ever gone from the Earth. Incredible moment, and some of the images being brought back from behind the moon and of the moon itself. Incredible stuff to see. And I know in a big part, Alabama plays a big role in that. And as a senator, you'll be representing the whole state. And I imagine being in Huntsville, a few folks have brought that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of rocket scientists in this part of the world, Joey. There's some smart people up here. And so, yeah, they're excited about it. We're obviously excited about it. I think it makes sense when you do away with DEI and NASA and get with the programs, you can do some great things because we're capable as a nation. We seem to tie our hands behind our back sometime with silly policies.
Yeah, and it seemed like there was a little bit of worry with Jerry Eisenman being so tied to commercial space flight about, a lot of the legacy institutions, great ones we have here in Alabama. But some of the latest stuff I've heard from Eisenman, especially right before he got confirmed, sounds like he's got a big vision for a lot of the big industries here in Alabama.
Yeah, I agree. I think that even when I was traveling in overseas, there were a couple of countries that literally had Huntsville, Alabama on one of their world clocks. Because they're so dependent on us, on defense issues. And so, yeah, we do a lot around the world to keep people safe. And it's an honor to have it here in Alabama. And we're going to continue to push. We brought SpaceCom to Alabama. There'll continue to be great investments within the state of Alabama. And here's the thing. I mean, as conservatives, Joy, and I'm right of center, but people don't mind. You might know that about me. But people don't mind like investing in defense and infrastructure because they know that we pool our resources to be safe. We pool our resources to grow the economy, and there's no government program like a job. So I think we do a good job. The president appreciates the state, and the relationships we have with him matters to Huntsville. It matters to the whole state. It matters to the port. Anywhere you go in Alabama, they love President Trump, and he's doing great work for us.
And all we've seen, my generation, just the past few years, has been image after image of doom and gloom, and the American dream is dead. If you don't need any more testament other than a rocket from America orbiting the moon, that the American dream is alive and well, that you literally can do anything in this country that you dream of and work your butt off to attain. You can be that astronaut. You could be the one building the rocket here in Rocket City. We've got the skyline behind us. This is the greatest country in the history of the world. We have the greatest generation rising up with that opportunity. And I think this is just a moment. We had a watch party on my campus at Auburn yesterday. Everybody just watching some of those images where, the president was calling in and talking to some of those astronauts. Like, how cool to be able to look out and say, we are America. This is America. Again, we're not going to be ashamed of it. We're not going to be told to feel guilty for being America. We're proud of it, and we're going to elect people that are going to continue that.
And yet, a theme of this show today, and it's a reoccurring theme, and both of you know this, Brian, especially you as a young man on the internet know this. People don't believe what they see with their own eyes, and almost everything, like I heard the rescue mission was a hoax, and the moon thing's a hoax, and I'm just wondering, how do we even begin to reach these sort of folks?
I think a lot of people do not trust the government. And that's simply because time after time after time, government is so far removed from the people. You don't have something like this where the congressman comes home and visits with the actual constituents. Barry and I are spending this entire day together going across the state, actually doing a crazy concept, talking to voters, like maybe something that more people in D.C. should try. That's why they don't trust them. We look out and say, why do people not trust elections? Why do people not trust the media? It goes back to the root problem. They don't trust their government in the first place. They can't trust what they see on social media because they think the entire thing is a hoax. And yes, There are bad people in D.C. I think Barry would be the first person to tell you that.
There's a few.
Those people don't come back home. They're not in the Rocket City today meeting with voters, having lunch with Republican women. They do not care. This effort right here is how we build trust again.
I think. Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead, Joe.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I think we discovered that in Judiciary Committee. I told Merrick Garland, I said, you have undermined the trust of the American people in the Department of Justice just on the attacks on President Trump. I mean, the way they raided his home 91 days before election, 96 felony indictments, the things that they did to him, they undermined the trust because he was our duly elected president, right? And so, and the impeachment thing, it's just one after another. So Brylan's right. I mean, it's going to take some time to rebuild trust, but hopefully being out amongst the people and messaging and just being authentic, man. We need more authentic people that are serving in D.C. that may have some calluses on their hands, that have done something in their lives besides just being a career politician. And so I think we can restore the trust. The president's well trusted in Alabama. Obviously, we want to build that trust as well. But there is a reason people are skeptical of the government, and I'm one of them.
And Joey, you and I have spoken about this in the past. I've come by your studio after being at the State House all day and told you countless stories of our own politicians right here in Montgomery looking at me as a student saying, sit down, shut up, your opinion doesn't matter. And obviously Barry's doing the opposite of that today, asking for feedback, asking for how, these actual issues that Gen Z's facing, skyrocketing housing prices, wanting jobs in America, wanting to make sure that we can start a family here. He's genuinely concerned about how we can fix that, not just how we can get a quick buck or get a quick vote and move on.
Boy, here. Now, it still seems from publicly available polling, and I'm always skeptical of polling giving away to the public for free, but it's a tight race. So I think the strategy here is just meeting more folks in person, getting the word out, and I'd imagine the main goal is to win this thing outright and not have to deal with a runoff.
Yeah, everybody's kind of coalescing behind our effort. I mean, obviously we got Turning Point and Susan B. Anthony yesterday, and we talk about a lot of endorsements. But I think for us, the momentum is building. We're seeing us pull away, and that's kind of it's a huge swing between today and January, and we've got about 45 days or so between now and May 19th. But for what we're seeing, our polls are showing us in a good spot. Joy, we just want to run through the tape on May 19th.
And Joe, you'll agree with this. If polling was accurate, Hillary Clinton would be president of the United States right now. So
Yeah, she would be. Yeah, again, they don't give it away, the good stuff, for free. It's a science and an art to a degree. But if folks are liking what they're hearing and want to support the campaign, Barry, whether donate or volunteer, how can they do so?
Yeah, thanks, Joy, for asking. BarryMooreForAlabama.com.
BarryMooreForAlabama.com. Pretty straight up, folks. The Trump-endorsed candidate here, and I always appreciate you two gentlemen being on the program. And stop on by anytime you're in town. We can actually meet face-to-face.
Be great. Thank you, Joy.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see y'all. Again, that is Congressman Barry Moore, candidate for United States Senate, and Brylan Hollyhan, young student, but kid's been making waves in the media for years before he even got to college. So 272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation. But that race is tight, man. Like we had Jared Hudson in here yesterday. Steve Marshall's coming out punching still. In fact, Marshall blasting a lot of the false and negative ads is his quote being thrown at him by out-of-state billionaires.
Oh,
saying they're doing that because they hate me.
Because they hate me?
That they hate that I can't be bought is the exact quote from the Attorney General of the United States.
Yeah.
And then it really is campaign season. Go away from one statewide for the U.S. Senate race to statewide for the Attorney General slot. That like Steve Marshall's getting gored by Catherine Robertson's opponent. Catherine is the current counsel there, chief counsel there for the AG's office, has been for a long time there with working alongside AG Marshall. Jay Mitchell, former justice on the Alabama Supreme Court, he's running for AG. He has put out that the AG's office has put its head in the sand over officer-involved shooting prosecutions.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So it just feels like all the different angles and all the overlap, it's all coalescing together. Now, I think that endorsement from the vice president, from the president, from Turning Point, and Susan B. Anthony, especially those top two Republicans, let's say, in the country, I think bodes well for the Barry Moore campaign. And also, I'll just say this, I'm not endorsing anybody. I'll say I saw Barry Moore go from just getting into a runoff to get into Congress and then win that thing outright when nobody thought he would.
Right.
I saw him beat, especially talking to Jeff Poore, the old incumbent in South Alabama with the new district, Jerry Carl.
Yep.
So he's got the endorsements, but he's also always been a heck of a campaigner because I think he's easy guy to talk to, get to know.
Plus, again, he told us this years ago that if he won, he was going to water ski in Lake Jordan in the wintertime, and he did. So it may be simple.
It goes a long way that.
Yeah,
it goes a long way.
Man,
but,
keep the word.
I had Hudson tell me, Jared Hudson yesterday, saying they're keeping their powder dry. They're still sitting on some cash for ad buys as you get closer. So I think we've only just begun. Like the amount of stories and ads and all this back and forth, especially on these statewide races that are competitive. Oh, it's going to be nuts. And even the one that's not competitive, I'm sure there's going to be so many ads put out against Tommy Tuberville.
You know that, man.
Like he's the presumed governor, but we
easy
got ads running on our station about it.
You can throw stones at him.
But that lieutenant governor race, that'll be crazy. The AG race, I think, is going to be
interesting.
Very competitive. And even though Barry's got that endorsement as a great campaigner, Marshall and Hudson are not going away.
Right.
Now, there are others running in that, but...
Those are your two front runners, aren't it?
Yeah, we'll see. Steve the Attorney General was the front runner for a while, but it seems his numbers are staying about where they were. What the polling, again, be wary of publicly available polling that's put out, it shows a lot of undecideds.
Oh,
and in
sure.
fact, most people are not really paying attention right now, and it might be a last 2 weeks sort of decision.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm working. I got a job to do.
Got bills to pay.
Right. Or I'm watching the TikTok. I can't care about this.
Or I'm watching the Iran thing at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is one of those moments, as my uncle would say, you could back up to a brick wall and suck out a brick.
Yep.
Sphincter factor.
Mm-hmm.
On the ground in Tel Aviv as deadline looms.
Yeah, they're telling them to buckle up for tonight.
And we're seeing also photos from Tabriz, Iran, outside a power plant. A bunch of folks and
mainly women.
Women in one of those. It's not the burqa.
Yep, full burqa effect, dude. When I went scuba diving in Jamaica, there was a Saudi there with his wife, and she scuba dived full burqa effect. Because I told Suzanne, I was like, "Look, I think that's a mermaid." Oh, that's just her in her burqa, with nothing available except her eyes.
So it was like a full wetsuit, essentially.
Yeah, but it was her burqa. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't even tight. It was flowing.
She looked like a mermaid. Wow. And her husband looked like a bear that escaped the zoo. He was just all hairy with a big gold chain.
Yeah. You want to sip some tea and smoke some tobacco?
They were quite the pair.
How about this? Let's hit this break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large or medium pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
If you own a home and need cash, you can unlock thousands of dollars from your home equity quickly and easily. Call LendGo today at 888-407-7095. At LendGo, you can find out how much cash you could get with a home equity loan in just 2 minutes. It's free, there's no obligation, and it won't affect your credit score. Use the money for anything. Pay off high-interest debt, make home improvements, or just give your budget some breathing room. Best of all, you keep your low mortgage rate while you're getting the cash you need. See how much you can get today. Call 888-407-7095. That's 888-407-7095. Or visit lendgo.com. That's LENDGO.com. Homeowners nationwide are doing it. Now it's your turn. Call 888-407-7095 today. LendGo, where homeowners go to get cash. 888-407-7095.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's the number that Papa B dialed. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Hey, guys. I'm pretty good. I'm still hacking and coughing a little bit, but, boy, this thing's held on really a long time. Eddie, I don't know if you had it, but...
Oh, yeah.
I like a month, and I'm still hacking and coughing.
Hacking. I thought it was just the pollen, but I've been doing the neti pot and all that. It ain't just the pollen, because most of the pollen's gone away now, and I'm still got itchy throat, watery eyes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's something else in there.
Old man
There's
disease.
something else in the stew.
Yep.
Look, I like Barry Moore, and I'm supporting him.
Okay.
Look, my brother-in-law who lives in Mobile, and if any of Barry's team listening, he's big time supporter of Barry Moore, always has been. Be well known to the Moore campaign. Actually, it's so crazy. He was actually invited, he and his wife, to be in the like sports box at the college championship game this last year. I was like, when the president and his team invite you to be in the sports box with him, that ain't no small thing.
Not at all.
That ain't bad
That's
at
a
all.
good meeting spot right there.
So anyway, but it's not just because he's supporting him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Although it has something to do with it, I guess. But I've got an idea. This one of the callers called in. Well, you never underspend on your budget and that kind of thing. That's true. But for anybody that's out there listening, to a lawmaker, I mean, you can kind of have an impact on overspending, out of control spending, and really even fraud if you just incentivize saving. Why don't you just say, look, Department X, if you come up with a savings on the budget, then we'll give you a bonus out of that budget. It'll be money well spent, because then you have people actually looking out and trying to save money. Or let's say you're an auditor. Mr. Auditor, if you find fraud and you're able to save the taxpayer money, well, you could get a bonus out of that. And I know the actual workings of that probably have to be really thought out well. But instead of just letting it out of control, incentivize savings for these people. I don't see a downside to it, Joey. Would you see a downside to it at all? Or do you even understand? Am I talking above your head?
I think I'm a little lost.
No, I get it 1,000%, but here's the problem. You got man. All right. If I've got X amount of budget this year, and we would love to think that, hey, if they cut the budget, that the government would go along with this. I don't think no one trusts the government to do that. I think the first time you're the guy that bucks the system and says, hey, look how much money we wasted, but I managed to save it. They're like, okay, that guy's out. Next.
Right.
I mean, I agree. There's, some things that would have to be worked out. First of all, you'd have to assure, the people that are in that department, hey, look, we're not going to just crucify your budget next year.
Right.
We might reduce it by 5% or something like that, but we're not going to just, hang you out to dry. There's ways to do it. In other words, Department X, if you're able to scrap together and really, think about things and not waste money, but show, hey, we've saved some money, why not incentivize it? I'd rather give it not all of it, but a partial part of it as a bonus.
Yeah, because that's money you won't spend again.
Tried hard.
Right.
Well, you're going to spend it anyway. Well, why not? Just go ahead and say, well, look, we'll give you a bonus if you can save some money.
Yep.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
There's nothing
anyway.
wrong with that.
And the idea's floated around for a while, but it's just a matter of execution.
You have to get everybody on the same page, which would be tough.
Anything that's easy probably ain't worth doing,
I don't know. This one, yeah, you're right.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I surely appreciate y'all letting me chime in.
Hey, thank you, Papa B.
Got to hit this break. First, though, again, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder over there at Dillon Rings. We told you about they have great financing
Yes,
options,
they do.
especially on those customized jewelry pieces.
Yep.
Get by there. At least sit down for a consultation with Josh Ryder.
Certainly.
Maybe you want to combine two pieces of jewelry because you want to make something that you dreamed about, make it a reality. He can do that for you. Of course, they have a great inventory there. high-end pieces, one-of-a-kind pieces, too.
Lots of beautiful watches over there.
You get watches for women and men. Yes. And then, of course, like everyday jewelry, maybe like starter jewelry for the daughter or the niece or something like that. Like a little charm bracelet, like a friendship bracelet. You still got yours.
I still got mine. In fact, someone was so jealous of my friends that they broke it off. I've got to take her back over there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, 6th grade jealousy. You know how little girls can be. Yeah.
So jealous. Yeah. But, of course, they can also do repair work.
Yes, some of the best repair work I've seen around here. In fact, I think most people use Josh. They just don't.
Right. They can do spa treatments.
Yep.
So maybe it's a piece of jewelry you wear all the time. Looks like you've been wearing it all the time for years. What if it could look brand new? Yeah, get some shine back on it. They can do that. Of course, they buy old jewelry off, folks. They'll do appraisals. Maybe it's been 5-6 years since you've actually got an appraisal done on that heirloom.
Jewelry prices have changed dramatically, so especially with gold prices.
So y'all check out Dillon Rings today. Get by their 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway, and be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Oh no, OpenAI shuts down Sora video app. Oh no, that's the one where they had like the cat waking people up on the front porch. That was Sora.
I kind of like that cat.
That was a great moment.
Why'd they do away with that?
Probably using up a lot of their tokens, so to speak.
It's good stuff, though, Joey.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway, we got to hit a break. Be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist.
That's right, man.
And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA?
Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat.
MARGA?
Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again.
I see.
And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest,
the asset preservationist.
That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
And I understand that's a toll-free number.
Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again.
And you make these hats?
I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration.
And they say CPWABD.
Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And as you said, there's a whole pile here.
Well, there wasn't much demand.
I can dig it.
This is Jonathan with Oswalt's Apparel and Footwear in Prattville. With all that's changed in the last decade, I really thought that radio advertising was dead, but I was wrong. We opened our store during the pandemic, and we wouldn't have been near as successful without advertising on Blue Water. Practically every day, someone comes in for the first time and tells us they heard about Oswalt's on the radio. I highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
After a nice day today, we're in for another chilly night tonight. Clear to partly cloudy, overnight low temperature down to about 50. Tomorrow we'll say partly sunny with a high temperature in the middle 70s. Perhaps a few widely scattered isolated showers Wednesday night, but not many. Then back to dry weather on Thursday with a high around 74, partly sunny. And we're up near 80, I think, by Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Three 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. So I'm tired of the, type butthole like moment. Everybody, the pucker factor going on right now with this deadline.
Okay.
So how about something completely different?
What you got, bro?
It's a headline from the New York Post.
Oh, boy.
I'm an obesity doctor. The first foods I have patients cut down, including some quote-unquote healthy fake-outs. So I'm going to try to read through this to see what fake, stupid diet food Eddie's been eating. Well, no, you've been eating Taco Bell in front of me.
There's no diet food.
These foods are the heaviest hitters. While GLP-1 drugs have transformed how many people think about weight loss, the pharmaceuticals are still most effective when paired with those old familiar obesity busters of yore. Diet changes and exercise. You think?
Yeah.
Speaking to the Post, Dr. Meena Malhotra.
Who?
Nice Irish chick.
Oh, okay.
A double board certified physician in internal medicine and obesity medicine and the founder and CEO of Heal and Cure Medical Wellness Center revealed the first diet changes she urges her patients to try. And while some of the foods you should eat less of won't surprise you, others may not be what you're expecting. Unfortunately, certain breads and wheat products have a very high glycemic load, she explained, so they spike glucose very fast, which leads to a spike in insulin.
Yep.
When insulin levels are high, the body is in fat storage mode, not fat burning mode, because insulin is a fat storing hormone. When you reduce these, patients see less bloating, more stable energy, and gradual fat loss. So like refined carbs like bread, pasta, noodles, pastries. Pasta. Of that list, I can even go without bread, but pasta and noodles, like, man,
I can drop the pasta, but I gotta have the bread. I'm a bread guy.
And I've been loving like a good, like healthy bowl of ramen with some pork belly. Yeah.
Ooh, that pork belly. I do dig the pork belly.
It's really good.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but then sugar sweetened beverages like sodas, fruit juice, and energy drinks. Yeah, no kidding.
Bad for you?
Yeah. Liquid calories don't give satiety, excuse me. Like, they don't satisfy. They don't make you actually feel full. So you could drink like a can, like 200, 300 calories, and it's like, well, I can drink another, and I can drink another. And
Yeah.
You're just loading up.
We talking about Busch Light?
Now, Busch Light probably ain't as bad as like a lot of other beers and a lot of like a straight up Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper.
I sent Craig a thing the
Mountain
other day.
Dew?
Okay, that crumble cookie, that place y'all turned me on to. One crumble cookie has the same amount of calories as 6 Busch Lights.
That place is an evil corporation.
Yes, there is. And it's okay, but it could be better.
It's much. It's a bit much.
Yeah.
No, it's seriously, what they put in there and the amount of calories in one cookie, it's an evil corporation.
Yeah, because it is just a normal size cookie.
You need to make a movie about how it's like they took over the world.
I'm going to eat nothing but that for 30 days, Joey.
Everybody getting on sugar. But actually, fruit juice, most people think it's healthy, but it's one of the worst things for metabolic health. Huh.
I remember that when Justin was a kid, we were giving him fruit juice because we were stupid parents thinking, we're giving him fruit juice. No, we're giving him pure sugar that's rotting his teeth out.
Here's another obvious one. Ultra-processed foods like chips, packaged snacks, and fast food.
Why are you knocking on the fast food, Joey?
I'm just saying. But, I like Cheetos.
I like a Cheeto once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with chips? But when you get into that stuff. Like, it's not.
Yeah, when you're getting out the bag of chips and the container of French onion dip that you're going to be consuming, it's bad.
Non-organic animal products like processed meats and non-organic dairy.
Creamer?
Yeah, like non-organic meats and dairy are typically loaded with hormones and inflammatory compounds.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, coffee creamer, very flammable.
Yeah, she recommends switching to cleaner sources to reduce your intake. Yeah, those things that can just sit on the shelf forever.
Yeah, literally, you could take
this is just common sense.
Coffee creamer and put some on the table and just light. It'll light. Very flammable.
But healthy, quote-unquote, packaged foods like granola bars, protein bars, flavored yogurts, and gluten-free snacks.
Yeah?
Yeah, they can look healthy, but they're actually marketed as healthy, but they have high levels of sugar, refined carbs, or sugar substitutes. That means even if the calorie count is low, they still spike glucose and insulin. She's really on this thing with the spiking the insulin and stuff.
Got something to it. We got diabetes taking over the United States like crazy, man.
The 000 vanilla yogurt, Greek yogurt?
Yeah.
All right.
Really?
Yeah.
0 flavor, 0 calories,
No,
0.
Tastes like vanilla. But 0 fat in it. And a lot of protein and some carbs.
Be suspect, Joey.
Anyway. Is this like, she's right though, by the way, about the protein bars and the granola bars and like, it's like a person hiking on it.
Honestly, yes. I used to eat the
like
granola
unless
bars
you're
like crazy.
literally hiking.
Doesn't really do it, but put fat on you.
Right. I'm sitting in the car. It's like, you might as well just got a fun round, man. Like,
yeah.
Go on.
This is true, but it makes me feel better. Like my large Diet Coke with my Big Mac.
Mm-hmm. I remember how I used to eat. Like in the morning, it was always oatmeal cream pie or like one of those cosmic brownies.
Oh, dude, I love those.
It's great.
I love those.
With a sugar filled, I still have the bad Red Bull habit, but I do the sugar free. But like the 20-ounce full regular sugar Red Bulls and like a couple of those little Debbie snacks, like this is a good start to the morning.
That's breakfast of champions is what that is,
Rip
Joey.
the bong.
Breakfast of champions, baby.
Yeah, good time. Healthy living, folks. Healthy living.
But I fell for that. You remember years ago they came out with the potato chips that supposedly weren't going to be bad for you. You could eat
sure.
it, but when you ate them all, you crapped your pants. Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't remember those.
You don't remember those? I think it was Lay's or somebody that came out with it was like a kind of.
I remember when they came out with baked chips.
Okay, it was
and
after the baked.
Terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible. They're like styrofoam. But this was after the baked. But yeah, you could supposedly you could eat them and not gain any weight, but it gave everybody a bad case of the trots, so they had to kind of do away with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you can't trust the bodily functions.
Exactly. And you're thinking, I bought these chips because this wasn't supposed to happen.
Right, and it sounds like we both come from families that are somewhat open about bodily functions. There are some families where they don't even act like there are no bodily functions at their household, and it's just like they're very sheepish about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't need to emphasize it. That's just weird and perverse. But
so many thoughts on that. But yes, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's a quick rundown. Because honestly, I'm tired of worrying about what happens with war in like.
All right, then I got a question.
4 hours,
Not
3
too far
hours.
off the subject because we were just talking about it. You're in a relationship with a girl, and that's what you're going to be in. How long before you break the seal?
What do you mean break the seal?
Pass a little gas.
Oh, you're talking about sex for a second.
No, what is it? That's what everybody goes to. That's no.
Yeah, but the way you said it, break the seal.
Break the seal.
Break the seal.
Yes, that's what everybody seems to go to. A couple weeks? What?
How
couple
long?
Weeks?
I don't know. I don't
Couple
have
weeks?
a time frame.
Yes, you do. Everyone does.
I don't have like
Everyone
an exact.
does.
No, it's a matter. It's a qualitative, not a quantitative measure, Eddie. It's not like you have. It's on a clock. It's on a calendar.
Yeah, these
like,
are
2 months in. I fart in front.
Yes, yes.
Like that's just.
There are
like,
check marks that you need to make throughout the relationship. If the girl doesn't find a fart funny, you don't want her. You don't want her. But if she farts on you and laughs, then you don't want her either. That's not funny either.
Now, how far do you go with this? You go to the Dutch oven, or are you just a little squeaker?
That's after marriage.
After marriage.
After marriage, yeah.
What to say? That's disgusting.
We both come from the family that
it's disgusting.
They put this out there.
It's gross.
Yeah.
No, that's a good question. No, I think modesty though is a pretty good virtue in general, man.
Would it make you think less of the girl if she broke the seal before you did?
No.
And I don't mean accidentally. If she just looks over your eyes and goes, "Hey Joey, can you catch?" And you go, "Yeah, I can catch." And she goes, "Rip, catch that." You would.
I wouldn't think less of her. I would be like, it depends on like disgusting. There might be something like that. Like,
okay, just checking.
Like, did you eat like pure roasted garlic and beef last night? No, you know what I mean?
These are the questions that ponder me at 5 a.m.
Yeah, like I don't think there's a, like father sons.
Oh, that's the
like,
best.
Dudes hanging out.
That's the best.
Yeah, rip one every once in a while, but like, yeah, like I don't know, just like almost crapping your pants in front of your lady. It seems like
you're
something
establishing
you
dominance.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are. You're establishing you're an animal. You're a disgusting animal. And you probably need to go change your underwear. Especially as you get into your 50s.
Oh, dude, you telling? You always carry a backup pair.
See, folks, isn't that better than talking about impending nuclear war?
But I know I feel better because that is on my mind.
Line 1, you're on there. Who's this?
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Joey, I'm not really sure which disturbs me the most. I'm looking to you, or listening to you, I'm listening to you, and we're breaking down the potential for dropping a nuclear warhead somewhere over there in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And this...
Eddie's talking about,
bomb.
dropping a nuclear warhead.
Yeah, which is more disconcerting.
Depends.
But
when doom is imminent, boys will be boys.
Right. We got till 8 o'clock for this to happen. This other stuff might happen any time now.
Yeah, any moment.
Yep.
No, it's a rule that you don't do that in the studio.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna stay away from that. Anything that involves streaking and drawers, we should probably. I mean, that should.
Crop
Everybody's
dusting,
doing
sinking battleships, all that stuff.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, sure.
Are you guys doing all right other than the current conversation?
Yeah, man. I think this conversation's a sign of we're in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
All things
All
considered.
right. Well, good. Tell me something, Joey. I mean, is this a new woman that we're considering here? I mean,
Not that I've told him.
No.
okay. Well, just in case. I mean, are you looking for something pleasant and relatively nice to do this weekend?
No, not really.
No, I'm going to the lake.
Okay, I
We
was
got
just going
that
to
show
offer
this weekend.
something for you. I mean, if you run out of things to do with this new woman that you haven't told Eddie about yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, never mind then, Joey. And she's not going to bite.
No, you don't bite.
What about the twins? Have you given up on that prospect?
I don't think I ever started.
Twins.
You never considered it.
Yeah, I don't think I did. You've been pushing it for a few times, and I get it.
My 62-year-old feelings are hurt, Joey. But that's okay because we're about to have a birthday.
You doing anything big for your birthday?
Honestly, no, unless we plan an event somewhere.
The big 6'3" with James.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody's going to be looking around, in other words, to help me celebrate. But that's okay. I mean, I'm all right with that. I just assume when the day comes, we won't even acknowledge it. We'll just keep right on bumping.
That's how I am.
Like a man.
Yep.
Well, I mean, do we really need to know that a year has passed since the last time we did not celebrate our birthday?
Nope.
That's a good point.
I mean, what are you going to be 38 this time, Joey?
In December, yeah.
Well, congratulations in advance, in case we forget.
Yeah, I'm getting old, man.
Oh, Joey.
Have you fell from 4 inches and hurt your wrist yet?
Here's what I'll tell you. In our tennis group, most of the guys, I'm almost positive, more than half of them are in their 70s. And one of the characters will be 81 this June, July, somewhere in there. And he's still getting after it. Last year, he went out to Des Moines, Iowa, and played as part of in part of a senior Olympics tournament.
Oh my!
Cool.
And he had just turned 80, so he was in the 80 to 85 bracket, and pointed out 5th out of 12.
Middle of the pack.
Strong.
Yeah, well,
Front
slightly
middle.
above.
Front middle.
Right in there, yeah. But anyhow, it's been fun,
Yes.
and you guys try. I mean, gosh, in the bright, sunshiny day like today, there ought to be some topics that butterflies, flowers.
I thought the breaking the seal conversation was endearing.
Oh, Joey, I don't know, man. This is probably why you hadn't found the twins, right?
That and other reasons. Anyway, I appreciate the call, James.
Well, Joey, you don't think you could handle me as a brother-in-law?
No, I don't. I don't think that would be in the cards.
That would probably be the best part of the deal, man. Joey, you have a nice day.
You too. We have to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janie King Franchise Center who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janie King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JanieKingCleans.com today.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Nice dance move, bro.
This gets me right here. This is the good stuff. I like this.
Why do you think I made it this way?
Just for me?
Yep. Now let's go to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Good. Y'all have a good Easter?
Yeah,
real good.
Really good.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to you yesterday because I was crazy busy. I had the best. Every now and then, the way my mind works is just nutty. I come up with the craziest thoughts and ideas. So when the kids were were getting ready to go out and find all the Easter eggs, because they're little, like 2 and 3 and 4, we just put them around the yard, right?
Yeah.
So they're real easy to find. Well, I tied one to a fishing pole. I didn't tell anybody.
Nice.
And so when Coco, she's 3, goes to grab it, I start reeling. He goes about a foot. The look on her face was just, she wasn't sure if it was joy, if it was alive, if she should be scared. So she goes and tries to get in, and I reel another foot. And nobody knows that I'm doing this, right? But then they start seeing her go across the yard, and this little egg bounces across the yard, and you can't see the string. It was awesome. Y'all got to do that.
That is awesome.
I love that.
That's pretty good, right
But you can't tell anybody you're doing it.
Oh, right.
That because it really throws everything off. Next year I'm gonna do it with a big egg, but I'm gonna put a baby chicken inside. You know how shocked Morgan's gonna be when they come up all the baby chicken?
Somebody is.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, you got a baby sister. That's so cool. Take it home. Well, the only worst thing would be maybe put a baby bunny rabbit in it.
Oh, man, I remember those as a kid for Easter.
Mhm.
Everybody used to get rabbits.
Yeah. I got Emma's baby chicken one year. Years ago, she's like 2 or 3, and she was out jumping around and landed on it, and it died. And she came to me and she said, "Can you fix it?" I said, "I can't, but your mama can."
Oh, no.
Angie was not happy with me over that.
Wow. I love your You got a family, man. You do it right.
Yeah, mama can fix everything right up for you, baby. Take it on inside. That's when you leave and go to work.
That's exactly right. You get the heck out of there, man.
Hey, if y'all need a floor, call us, 285-8117. Listen, I know the world's burning and everybody's nervous, but you know what? God's got everything in the palm of his hand. Don't worry about
There
it.
you go,
Y'all
brother.
just have it free. It's all good.
Amen. And again, that number 285-8117. Get you some new flooring, and be sure to tell them when you call them up that you heard Ray tell them great tales on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray.
So did we learn anything today?
I love Ray stories. Let's see. We did learn that I think it was Kuwait put out a thing to their citizens, told them to tonight to shelter in place.
We're seeing with the change over there at Fox to the Will Kane show, Trump said heated negotiations with the Iranians. Trump aware of Pakistan's proposal to extend deadline, response will come. Yeah. Oh, we'll see. Anyway, what are you going to do?
That's just it. What can you do?
Have a good dinner tonight.
Did you watch that basketball game?
Be with
last
the
night?
one you love. No, I did
It was lame.
It was lame?
Yes. Yeah, Michigan had it from jump.
Well, that is lame. No
It
fun
was.
at all. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg and Pamela. They are next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.